Hi, everybody. Welcome to the More Gems Show. I'm Steve Moriarty, your host, and with me tonight are my two sons, Mike and Jeff. Hello, boys.
How are we doing?
What's up, everyone? We're back.
Yes, we are.
Seems like forever.
I know, it's been a couple months.
Because normally because this is an April 1st show.
5 weeks or
Yep.
something.
So hopefully everybody didn't think the show was a fake show.
Yeah, it's not a joke. We're here.
It was happening.
I forgot about that.
But yeah, it feels like it's been, 5 weeks, 6 weeks?
Yeah, we took a little bit of time off. We've been working on cutting. So a lot of these stones have been cut in-house by us. If you've seen a couple of our recent posts on the tourmaline and the large Scapolite, those are going to be both on the show tonight. So stay tuned for those and a lot of other great gems.
Yeah.
The big ones tonight. Big Tanzanite, big blue topaz,
Sapphire, right?
big sapphire. Yeah, huge sapphire.
So during the, Mike's always making me push up against this mic. All right. There a lot of great shows. There are stones tonight, and I think a big difference. A lot of the fans that come and watch our show over and over again. This is our 68th show, which is crazy. This was born just out of an idea during COVID. I think Michael and Steve came up with this, and it's turned into a huge thing, and we really appreciate everybody watching. But while, in the past, it's always almost been just Steve, the master gem cutter, known around the world, recognized everywhere. But now, I think this show, is this the most stones you've cut, Michael, for one show?
It is, yes. And it's not that many, but
But it's the most.
it's the most.
He's improving,
I've got 4 in this one, and some of them were pretty reasonably priced for the time it took for me to cut them. And they're pretty cool, so I hope you like them.
Yeah. And there was a fifth, but it needed some adjustment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
next show.
Yes. So we'll get right into this. I know we got a lot of new people watching. For the regular fans, sorry, you can tune me out for the next 1 minute if you'd like. But if you like my voice, then you can listen to it as well. So tonight we're going to be showing. There's going to be, I think, 54 total stones that we're offering tonight that are brand new, 15 to 25% off. We'll be going through a good portion of those. Steve's going to step through them, tell you about the stones, show you how they look and everything. These stones are just a one-time release. Right now, you can go to MoreGems.com, and there's a green banner at the top of the page. Click on it. You're going to see a huge collection of a brand new drop of gemstones. These are going to be 15% off. All you got to do is add it to the cart, and that 15% off will come directly off. We've also got some hidden gems throughout the show. These are 25% off. Why do we do this? Well, a lot of people like to purchase early. So for those people that stay with us throughout the whole show, we drop these. They're one of a kind. And you got your chance to get a discount of 25% off with coupon code RARE25. We will tell you this throughout the show. When you purchase, we got a lot of options for you. You can use credit card, as most people do. But we also offer PayPal, and we offer financing through a firm. A lot of people ask about layaway. We do offer layaway with 20% off, but we cannot do it the night of. This would be if the stone's still available tomorrow. You can call or email us, and we can speak to you about layaway. All the stones tonight, we do custom jewelry design. That's what our expertise is in. So some people they want the gemstone. We ship it to them. Other people, they purchase the gemstone, and we create, you can schedule like a live Zoom session, and we can step you through a custom design for that gemstone. Whatever you want to do, just let us know. And outside of that, I'm probably missing something, but if you've got questions, so we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and of course YouTube, where most of you are at. There's a lively chat session, so make sure you log in. If you want any questions asked, if Steve didn't see, if you want to see it on a hand, see it on the neck, anything, if you missed a stone, definitely just post it in there, and we'll answer as many questions as we can.
And Jeff, before you go forward, who is out there in the chat tonight?
Yes, so let's do this. So Scott is back from the Netherlands. I know he's been on the show before. Eileen is actually on the shuttle right now. Amazingly, she's getting our signal and watching the show from Artemis 2. Amazing. Let's see.
Is that an April Fool's joke?
Let's see. I don't know.
Maybe
there is
she's
a woman
on
the
there.
flight tonight. So,
Hey.
Dana Moriarty is here, number one sister.
Hey, Dana.
In the chat, out of the three of us, two brothers. Queen Victoria from Fort Texas is here. The Doug Studio loves the music. So do I. Michael actually jams out to it at night, not outside of the show. Jim
Once or
is
twice.
from Lexington, Kentucky. Some great bourbon out there. It's one of my favorite places. We got Colleen Lowe's from Bahamas. She's always here watching us. Thank you. Denise from Central Wisconsin. You're right up there, along with Tracy from Madison. Come visit us sometime. We're down in Crown Point, Indiana. Karen's from New Jersey. We got Max in Central Texas. Good bourbon down there as well. I'm going to mention that a few times. We got Tierra. She's from Tennessee, or she's in Tennessee this week. That's Amber. And anybody else? And Corey's here from the Bahamas. Okay, Wi-Fi signal is amazing tonight. Okay. Oh, that was a lot. All right. So are we ready?
Did you
Hopefully
get
we
our-
didn't lose too many people through that intro there.
Did you get our sister?
Dana's
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
you listening?
Yeah.
I'm sure Nancy is here.
Yep.
Mother as well. So
And
sure
Carrie's
those
watching, I'm sure.
other people that we know that are out there.
Well,
So.
sweet. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. And Steve, you want to get started?
Sure. Just a little explanation about the prices. As you can see, there's an appraised price and our price. The appraised price is based on this gem guide, which is a market-driven independent pricing guide where they go particularly to Tucson and worldwide shows, and they price gems at the shows and produce this wholesale guide. Break down many stones, as you can see here, like green sapphire, which we have a great one coming up in the show. And it is one of the stones that a lot of them went up in price because green sapphire is so popular. But this gives a wholesale price based on grade and size, and we use that to produce this appraised price. Our price online, in this case, $59.90, and then you'll take 15% off that, or it will come off automatically. Anything else we need before we get started? Okay, let's get. First stone up is a chrome tourmaline. This is a big chrome. Chromes don't typically come big, and when they do, typically they're overly dark. Not the case of this stone. It's bright open color. Big trillion, 5.65 carats. You get a good full size because there's no extra depth to it. It's cut to the ideal angles. When we cut, we take a piece of rough and you try and make the best use out of it. If it's a deep piece of rough, you cut a deep style cut. Change the angles. But in this case, what that does, cutting deep, just gives your face size a lot smaller stone. This one, 11.4 millimeters, and that's as big as you could get out of a tourmaline in this weight. So beautiful stone, VS2 clarity, nothing probably visible to the eye. I think it's a couple of veils down deep. Really clean stone, particularly for tourmalines. Now, tourmalines are typically more included stones, particularly pinks and some of the styles of greens, and like Peridot, they're somewhat always, but a high percentage of them are included. So the stone, 5.65 carat, come from Tanzania. With the 15 off, it's $5,092 or $901 a carat. This would probably be the next most expensive color next to Peridot. In Peridot, this size could be $30,000. Crazy number. I say crazy, but people get them, so I guess it's not crazy. So, Chrome tourmaline from Tanzania. We do find chromes in Tanzania and also Kenya. There is material that has been found in Madagascar, some in Brazil, but Tanzania is probably the primary. The way you can identify chrome tourmaline, you can identify the chromium that's in it, whereas all the other tourmalines don't have chrome in them. So we call them chrome tourmalines, although the color is actually mostly caused by vanadium, which is common. It's the same in Savorite. Savorite used to think chrome was a coloring agent, but it's really vanadium that's doing the color. And that's also true of Tanzanite. Vanadium is a major reason for Tanzanite color. Emeralds, also other beryls, occasionally. So, chrome filter. This is the filter, and to use it, you hold it to the light, incandescent light. This type of light I have here will not be effective, but an incandescent light, and then you just hold this to your eye and look at the stone in bright light. And if it shows red, it's got chromium in it. If it doesn't, it will not. So most green tourmalines will not show a green color in this chrome filter, but this one does absolutely show red. I say, anyway, it's red that will show in that filter.
Yeah, Corey was asking that same question. Does it light up red through a Chelsea filter?
Chelsea.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what this is. I couldn't quite remember what the name was. Forgot to look it up, but it's a Chelsea filter, or commonly a chrome filter, because that's basically what we use it for. There are probably other uses for it, but I've never used it for anything else. So if you have some useful thoughts for what that's good for, let me know. All right, what's up next there, Michael? So next up is a saddle cut or opposed bar or pixel cut are three names that this cut has gone by over the years. This is a Tanzanite. It's 7.70 carats. This is you're gonna give me this screen there. Okay. Hold it. Weighs 7.70 carats, VS1 clarity, so that's the highest I grade is VS1. So it could be flawless, but just very, very clean stone. Stone does have really good red flash in it, if that's important to you. A lot of nice action. That's what people like. Pixel cut is just flashes. Been a good successful cut for us. So you can set it on the finger sideways or a long way. Either way works. Look at it if you want to get the flashing. Whichever way works.
So you suggest a ring for this type of stone?
But yeah, it's a lot nicer to look at. In independent, it's just too stable that the movement's not there. The ring would definitely be a choice. Then you can play with it and get to see it. But static, it's just not going to do what you want. I suppose if you do it in a pendant, you'd want to do it this way, and as people move, they would be flashing lightly. Pendant or a ring, probably a better choice. Appraise price is $85.50. Our price online $51.95, and with the 15 off, it's $44.16 or $574 a carat.
And I'm just going to pop in to address a question I saw coming from Facebook. Ross asked, if black tourmaline can be faceted. And Ross, yeah, it can be, but you're not going to get any brilliance out of it. It'll just be an opaque stone. So basically what you'll just be seeing is the facets. There won't be any brilliance to it if it is just straight black.
That's true, but not true.
Why
if
is
you
that?
cut this metal cut, you'll get brilliance off the surface.
Off the surface?
Yes. There'll be nothing from internal. You're right.
Right.
But
So, but you're not going to get that.
Would be a really good cut for it because, it's just going to be like a mirror and reflect off the surface, which would be the only thing that would make it of interest.
Yes, but no brilliance. You're not going to get
Yes,
the pixelation look to it. You'll just see the top facets.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers your question.
All right. Next stone. This one I was really pleased with. Oh, you want to take it off of E. Yeah. Because this color, the picture color is much closer because I looked at it today and almost looked like a purple garnet. That's definitely not quite, but a beautiful garnet. It really has great color, outstanding brilliance. Just the shape is interesting and really thrilled how it came out. The VS1 clarity, no treatments to any garnets. All natural stone, 11.07 carats, comes from Tanzania. Praise price $88.90. Our price online $58.10, and with the 15 off, it's $49.39. $446 a carat. Big stone, particularly show this color. What happens in garnets as you get bigger, they tend to get darker, and darkness is garnet's main problem. Because the rough looks right, and then you cut it, and it's just overly dark. So that's important that a color like this is just brilliant in every light, where you look at most garnets and just a little too saturated that only in the brightest light do you get much life out of it. This one's right color, right size, right shape. Everything about this is really, really a great stone. Actually pretty reasonable when you look at what the price of garnets has done.
And this one too big for a finger?
No. Oh, thanks.
Do it on your
The
finger
right
now.
size, I think.
Yeah. Where's Handy at?
We had two objections.
That's true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can I cut in here? So there's probably gonna be some people that are asking about Handy. So can I talk about the survey results?
Handy? What? Tell everybody what handy is.
Well, okay. So for the new people. So Handy is the hand that we used because Steve's got some big fingers. And the hand that was more we thought it was more feminine. That we put the stones against to give you an idea of the size of the stone on your finger. We did some survey results though, and I think we've got everything from the hand looks like it's from a cadaver to just overall everybody thought the hand was creepy. So we got rid of the hand. We're going to come up with something else. But for now we're going to use Steve's hand. So anybody that's asking, we have
usually pretty nasty because cutting's pretty rough on the hand.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Drying and occasional ding.
Yes. So, yeah, if you ever want to see, if we miss it and you want to see it on the hand or finger again or on the neck, just let us know.
All right. I don't know. Did I? I think I did. 58.10 and yeah, I did. All right. Ella Anderson. That's good. Now, where was that when we first named her? No, although I like that one a lot. It's nice to look at. I already put it back in its.
Okay, so, and again, everybody, if you got questions, ask them. Somebody did ask at the beginning of the show, you're saying you like this stone. Somebody asked what your favorite stone was. I know peach is probably your favorite color. So is morganite your favorite stone? I don't know. What is your favorite stone?
I don't know. Right now, I like this one.
Okay.
The type of stone would be garnets for sure. Are definitely my favorites, just because you cut them right, and like this, you get so much brilliance out of them because they're relatively high refractive index, and so they have the ability to produce a diamond-like brilliance. They're not as high a refractive index as diamond, but they're up there. They're 1.7 to 1.8. Get to 181. Yeah, I think we get into the 180s anyway. And diamond is 240. It has really the ability to be more brilliant, but these are good high refractive index stones that just produce a lot of life when they're not too dark.
And going off of that, somebody asked, what they want to know, what is the difference between tone and saturation? You mentioned that oversaturation can cause darkness rather than the tone.
Yeah, tone is the color of this. Saturation is the depth of color. Dark to light.
One more question. Heather wants to know if I think we had some on the previous show, but do we have any more amethyst from Rwanda coming?
I probably still have a few pieces of rough that I'll cut eventually. I'm just not sure what to do with them, and whether they're going to produce great stones is hard to tell, but there hasn't been material since 2016. But I think I still have a few pieces of rough. I've got some rough there were two sources. One was not quite as good as the other. And I bought some of that material too. I mean, it's fine material, but the Rwanda was some of the best. But occasionally this material that's coming out of Bahia, boy, I have a hard time telling the difference from the color of it to the color of Rwanda material. I would, if I could get a stone back, one that I've sold in the past, I'd really like to compare some of the best that we've cut from Bahia with those. They're a close second to the finest. All right, this is our first hidden gem.
Jeffrey, the first hidden gem
already, huh?
Yep,
right.
already.
Why wait?
Yes.
3.43 carat oval tanzanite. It is violet blue vivid, violet blue exceptional. A rating of 945 out of 1,000. So really, really a nice stone. Appraised price $37.25, $19.90 is the price online. And with the 25 off, put it to $14.93, $435 a carat.
And for everybody to know, to see the hidden gem, I just posted it live. So if you went to MoreGems.com and you're on that category page, just refresh and it'll show up in that first column. I also added the link to the YouTube chat channel.
Okay. Nice size stone, 8 by 10. Popular size. Doesn't get into the huge money of the bigger sizes. Get a great color out of this size. Make a nice ring. Good ring size. See a little red flash to it. Yeah. Michael coming up with these.
Well, people love the red flash. And this is based on, when we look, like even searches for types of tanzanite people do on Google, and they love that red flash. It's rarer, right?
Yeah, it's something else to talk about. And in the past, it was exceedingly rare. It's more common these days, material that's coming out. But still, in stones this size, it typically doesn't show up. You usually see it in much larger stone. You'll see it in a big tanzanite I cut that just has incredible red flash. It doesn't stop. It's the most pronounced thing in the stone. So we'll see that a little later. All right, next up, our first blue zircon. We have several in the show, mainly because it's one of the big purchases we made while we were in Tucson, just because our supplier was just full of just incredible material, mainly because of the situation between Tanzania and Cambodia, which has not been good. So there hasn't been trade across the lines, because Bangkok is a major producer of colored gems, and our next trip will be to Bangkok. But this guy's in Indonesia, and it just, the availability of material was much, much greater because of the situation between Thailand and Cambodia. So this is kind of unusual. You don't see hearts in blue zircon. Look at a sideways heart. But they just have really a beautiful blue-green to them. This doesn't really show the true color of it. Nice even mix. Mostly blue, but a green secondary to the color. That just makes blue zircon unique and different from all other blue stones. And the other thing that makes them stand out is the extreme brilliance. They have a high refractive index. We use a device for testing the refractive index of stones called a refractometer. But this stone is beyond the ability of a refractometer. It goes above what it can actually read. It's 181, and that's the limit of refractometer. So you won't get a reading with the stone. So what that does for you is give you great brilliance, because the higher refractive index, as we talked earlier about garnets, the greater the brilliance you have capable out of the stone. Got to be cut right, but your potential for brilliance with a higher refractive index stone is much greater. I'm always amazed by the brilliance we can get out of amethyst, which has a pretty low refractive index. 154. Somewhere around 155. But still, we get really good brilliance out of a low refractive index stone, which is a challenge. This is blue zircon, comes from Cambodia. We buy these right. That's why our appraised price is so much higher than what we price them online. A really good direct source to this material. So what appraises for $35.20, our price online is $14.90, and with the 15 off, it's $1,267 or $216 a carat. Blue zircon. It's a good hard stone. One characteristic that you'll see in old zircons. I mentioned this before. I bought a zircon at an antique mall, and as soon as I looked at it, I knew it was zircon because all the facet edges had just these little microscopic chips that just look frosted on all the little facet edges. And that's what you get over a long period of time as you hit it. It takes out these little teeny dings, for years you won't even notice it, but this ring I bought was probably 50, 100 years old. I'm not 100. Been worn a long time, so I could identify it, that it wasn't blue topaz or aquamarine just by the nature of the chips around the facet edges. Not something to be concerned about. It really literally takes years, takes very little off the stone, repolishing it, and it's back to like new, and you lose 2 or 3 points, which is insignificant. All right, did I finish with that one? I think so. Show, we don't do zircon rough here. Oh, did you? Ah. Oh, that's what. Zircon. This is a zircon crystal. Where's this from? From Tanzania. I mean, the stuff is really heavy. One thing you'll note when you piece of zircon on your website. Not yet. Okay. Yeah, unusual to see zircons in a crystal shape like that.
So this piece is something I just picked up. For those of you who don't know, we also sell crystals and minerals. That's on mineralmike.com. This is a new zircon crystal.
Guy?
Yeah, Mineral Mike. Mike's me. But yeah, we've got a lot of really neat small thumbnail-sized crystals up to really large pieces. We actually just brought back, I don't know how many kilos that is, a big fluorite and quartz piece from China, which is super cool. I don't think I'll be listing that one online just due to the logistics of trying to ship something like that.
You want to come pick it up?
Yeah. But we might just keep it for a display piece, but I've got a lot of really neat stuff on there and a lot of stuff coming soon, so including this zircon.
All right.
Steve, we had a question. The Doug Studio wants to know, I learned the hard way not to put white opals in an anti-tarnish jewelry box. Now they are yellow. Someone suggested soaking them in water. Any chance that would cause more damage?
What kind of opal?
Let's see if he answers here.
Ethiopian, Australian.
Yeah, Doug, let us know.
Not that I'll probably have a good answer for you because I have not experienced it. What was it in with?
A anti-tarnish jewelry box.
Really? Did they turn orange?
Yellow. Now they're yellow.
That's probably Ethiopian. Wonder if that could be an issue with, because Ethiopian will sometimes turn yellow to orange, and I'm never
department store bracelet.
Huh?
It was a department store bracelet. So I don't think he knows what type of opal it was.
Yeah, and it may not. It's probably Ethiopian, and it just may be what happens to some of the Ethiopian opals. They turn yellowish to orangish in color. It's just something that certain stones do that. You know, your mention of the anti-tarnish box, and you worth me checking to see if that actually does something.
It'll be a fun test, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yes, because I'm not sure what makes those stones turn orange. Because I've had it and I've replaced them. You know, so maybe 1 out of 100 stones can change color. And usually the more crystalline looking ones are the ones that do that. So, yeah. I don't know if I need. We'll try a test on that. You know, if you can send me a picture of the box that it happened to you in, or any information on that box so I can get something similar.
It was Wolf jewelry box.
Wolf jewelry box.
Yeah. Well, I'll write it down and we can look into that.
Yeah, we'll do a test. It'd be cool if that's what the cause of all this was. You'd do a service to this business, because occasionally I have a big one that we made a custom mounting and it changes color, and I've got to cut a new one to fit it, or what we've done is special cut a piece to replace it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks for the info. It's interesting. By next show, hopefully we'll have an answer, or sometime in the future.
All right.
It'd be good to know how long it was in there, how long you've owned it, if she puts it in there regular and information like that. So give me info and we'll do a research on it. Okay, we had a sale?
Yep. All right. So we had a few sales. I've been holding off a little bit, but like I said, people sometimes skip ahead for sales. So Phil picked up the round Portuguese cut steely blue tanzanite, which we haven't even talked about yet.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's probably something different.
Nice.
For you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah.
Who came up with the steely blue?
Well, I took it outside and it just went steel blue.
Oh, really?
I mean, it was, I think there's violet in it. If I got an incandescent, there's a little violet, but outside it's just steel blue.
All
At least the day I looked at it, things change every day. I mean, you look at stuff in direct sunlight. Most things don't look good in direct sunlight. You're better in diffused or, and time of day, time of year, things are different. I can recall looking back at color change garnet back when I was traveling on the road. This is probably in the 1980s. And a stone I'd had for a while, a color change garnet, it was fall time, and I looked at it, I go, holy mackerel, that thing just changed crazy. Just the color was so much better, and it just had something to do with the time of the year, that time of day, and what the quality of the light was. So, and we find that every time you go outside with a stone, it can look different. So that's something, when you get a stone, make sure you play with different lights, and before you go, oh, that's not what I expected, look at it in a different light, because who knows what kind of light you're looking in, particularly these days with LEDs are significantly different from things of the past. Getting a true incandescent look is really currently not possible from an LED. So issues like I've had with this chrome filter, without a real incandescent, I couldn't get that chrome tourmaline to change significantly. It looked more brownish red. Then when I got it in a regular incandescent bulb, it just went red. So lighting just has a huge effect on what you're looking at.
This one. Eileen picked up, this one shot out at me when I was looking through all the stones, but the pear-shaped natural color tanzanite 1.82 carat. Pear-shaped.
Cool.
Nice. Very cool. Thanks,
Michael
Eileen.
got that.
Oh,
he
yeah.
he didn't have time to heat it.
No,
And we
yeah.
looked at it and we go,
It looked
That is
nice.
pretty cool.
looks great.
Yeah.
So Eileen, if you ever want it heated,
Right.
it's not a problem. It's going to heat to a really nice stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a nice burr color in the natural material, and it'll be a beautiful stone and bright. It is just the brightest little thing. And I looked at the quality of the faceting. Damn it, it's hard. He produces a higher quality facet meats than I do, but spends 3 times as much time too.
This one I cut relatively quickly.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's not that much different. He's just really a perfectionist for sure. And there's times I'm a perfectionist, but there's also time involved, to get perfection, particularly in a bigger stone, to get everything to meet. You always run into problems, and you have to make adjustments to your faceting. So unless you're willing to go back over and recut the whole thing, it's never going to be perfect. You have all these issues with getting yield and perfect meets, and there are sacrifices that you occasionally, but that stone, I don't. Are there any sacrifices in that stone, Mike? Look really, really good.
Sacrifices, yeah. I'm still in the process of figuring everything out. I mean, if I would have done some things differently, I probably could have had a little bit bigger of a stone.
Well,
but
that was your sacrifice.
That was my sacrifice. Is that what you're talking about?
Well,
or
you
no?
thought it was going to be a 1 carat.
I did.
told you
I think it
it
was going to be
yeah.
smaller, but yeah, it came out
Yeah.
bigger, and but
that's
I was
what-
pleased with it, and yeah.
That's what happens when you grinding away this piece of
Oh,
rock. and you're
gosh.
going, I'm not going to make anything on this.
Yeah, but it came out cool. I'm
Yeah,
happy with it, and yeah, thanks, Eileen.
Yeah.
I hope you like it.
Yeah, Mike.
It was
Mike.
easy to photograph. It was just so brilliant.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mike's the guy that once he gets the IKEA furniture in, he like lines and puts each piece, on the floor that he's gonna use. He doesn't just get the bag and use it. No, he lines everything up first. Everything's gotta be perfect in its place. So
Got to make sure you got all the right pieces, and
Yeah,
it goes
I know.
together.
Yeah,
And
you've always been like that.
yeah,
that's good. That's good. Okay. We got a lot. And the last one here. Caesar picked up the emerald cut Kunzite from Afghanistan, 6.53 carat.
nice.
That's a cool pink
Very
color.
cool.
Yeah,
Thanks, Caesar.
they're great color. It's Kunzite. I know we've got it on the website, and you do have to avoid wearing it in sunlight. Bright sunlight is an issue. It will fade the stone. It takes time, but I mean, I've had it at a weekend out at a art fair. I lost the color in the Kunzite. So it's really a nighttime stone. So, if that's an issue with you, I might want to reconsider, but, long as you know the issues with it, typically it's a problem. All right, next up, this beautiful opal. This is really an outstanding gem. Weighs 26.54 carats. We don't put an appraised price on these because there's no pricing in the books for Ethiopian opal. There's prices for Australian opal, but if I use those prices, this thing would be $40,000. Crazy price. So we just put our price on, and with the 15 off, this opal is $22.53 or $85 How do you get something that looks like this? $85 a crazy. Lean on the back. Occasionally I've bought a few stones this last trip that I wasn't sure which was better. One matter of fact, one of them, the back is definitely better, and I still debate whether I should tab both sides. Different look from the back of it. But look at the colors. And see the honeycomb look, the white lines actually, if you look at it, color will focus down the center of those. Some kind of, I don't know what causes that cellular looking structure, but it's common in brightest, most extraordinary opals have it. Columns that go up through surface. Look at the amount of color it has. The colors, whole rainbow is in here. Indigo, violet, orange, green. They're all there and evenly across across the stone. We're Australian. I could not. So the issues with Ethiopian opal, I mean, all opals have issues. Ethiopian opal is actually considered to be the toughest type of opal as far as taking abuse, hits, things like that. They're not impervious, but compared to other opals, tougher. But these are hydrophanes, so they will absorb water. And if you get them really wet, they'll lose their color. But as they dry out, the color comes back. But the one thing you have to know to avoid is getting oils, which could come from perfumes, could come from hairsprays, hand creams, medication. You try and keep those off this. If you get them on it, just wipe it off, because they will absorb this type of material and it will affect how the color. But you wear it in a pendant, and when you mount them, when we mount them, we protect the back a little better just to keep skin stuff off it. As far as Opal, they're just truly incredible. This is some of the best that no, cool stone. Yep. Really great as pendants, probably the best place for it. Safest. Very New. And they get the most attention. This is where it'll be seen by others that you're wearing it. The comment we get from people that wear pendants, we get so many comments, how many people comment. They are true. First discovered in about 2008. I got into them 12.
And before we head out, just want to give a shout out to Cameron Cash. What's up, Cameron? Hope you're doing well. And the minerals tonight, I don't have any of them photographed, but soon on mineralmike.com. And Steve, he was also wondering about custom design. So I don't know if you want to introduce Chris, and then we can have Chris kind of tell you a little bit about our custom design process.
I think you just introduced him, Mike. Here's my nephew, Chris.
Found a gemstone you love during the show? I'm Christopher Michael, head designer here at Moriarty's Gem Art, and I'm here to help you bring it to life. Just reach out to us during or after the show. You can message us directly or call the shop. It all starts with your vision. With the help of specialized CAD software, I'll design a one-of-a-kind ring, pendant, or earrings just for your stone. Along with photorealistic renders, you will review a 3D model and make changes before it goes into production. Once you approve the design, our team gets to work creating your piece with expert craftsmanship right here in our Crown Point shop. What started as a loose gem becomes something truly personal, a one-of-a-kind heirloom quality piece designed just for you. Find your stone tonight and let us create something amazing together.
Nice job, Chris. Thanks. All right, moving along. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to draw your attention to the flashing blue lights in our gemstone department. These are blue zircons, our blue light special. They weigh 4.52 carats. And for the blue light special, we take 30% off. So these zircons, so praise price of $27.10. $10.90 is our retail online. $7.63 with the 30 off, or $169 a carat. Really a great pair of zircons for a pair of earrings, beautifully matched, intense color for the size. I mean, getting small stones with this depth of color is very, very unusual.
Yeah, so everyone, if you go to MoreGems.com and you click on that green banner, you're going to see all the stones. If you're already there, just refresh that page and these will show up in the second row. And again, use coupon code BLUE30 to take 30% off that price.
Beautifully cut. You know, these are excessively cut. our supplier, showed us these special. He was starting to have things recut because the big complaint of material that comes out of Cambodia is the depth of the stones. And we bought many of them were as deep as they are wide, which can be a problem with setting, but for us doing custom, not a problem. Just know that, they're set a little higher. Not in the case of these stones, because these, for blue zircon, are actually cut really well, not overly. So a nice pair, great pair of earrings, good size. Look a little bigger on most women. I have big hands, big ears. So blue zircon from Cambodia. They just, again, the secondary green color that's in them just really makes them an extraordinary look and definitely one of our most popular gems.
And then, for everybody knows, if you want them in earrings, we can definitely design those white gold, yellow gold for you. I just wanted to mention, a lot of people I've talked over the chat on our site for. If there's any stones on here that you do like, Chris talked about the custom design. I'm not sure if he mentioned about the new Zoom sessions that we have that you can schedule.
No, not yet. And we've been doing quite a few of them.
Yes.
It seems to be helpful for some people.
Yeah, so if you go, there's two ways to do it. If you see a stone you like, there's an add to cart, but there also is schedule a Zoom session where you can schedule something with Alice and she'll step you through any kind of design that you want to do with these gems. So that's also an option. Steve, before you get into this amazing moonstone, can I ask you a question here?
Yeah, sure.
Linda wants to know, with the Peridot stones, is Portuguese cut better to get us? Okay, with Peridot stones, Portuguese cut, is it better to get a stone that is lighter or darker green? Thank you, Michael. How durable is Peridot stones? Can you wear them daily?
Well, I mean, they're not the toughest stone on the planet. They're much like Tanzanite as far as wearability. So, I mean, if you're a gentle wearer, yes, daily wear. If you're not, will cause some damage over time. Because particularly the Portuguese cut does set up a little higher. As far as the color, long as it's not too dark. Portuguese cuts don't perform well with dark material. Lighter material is better, but anything medium to lighter works well with a Portuguese. As we've said in the past, it's always our best seller. Whenever I can cut a Portuguese round, I do, which the one Portuguese round Tanzanite sold, and there is that Portuguese Peridot and the Peridot is beautiful, beautiful. I've said it before, I love cutting Peridot in a Portuguese cut. Just think it's a really pleasing stone for that particular. And that Portuguese I did not cut, but it's really, really well cut. It actually was cut in Pakistan. I'd like to know that cutter. I would hire him because he does a beautiful job. All right, up next is this moonstone. We apparently had some difficulty photographing the colors that you see in here because it is really a beautiful, beautiful moonstone. Weighs 6.49 carats. Nice clean stone. These are never flawless. But this is all new material that came out of Madagascar. Never been found before, to my knowledge, in this clarity. Sure it has. And unfortunately, this particular source is played out. He's from this particular mine, which, hasn't been found otherwise in Alta. is played out, and what we have today may be all there is. In fact, the next, we get lucky in Bangkok, if we get there this fall, we may see more material. But it's not going to be another year. It's going to hold out. At least these higher quality stuff. There's just limited supply, and there's always a backlog for a while with cutters. The more popular stone is, the more they tend to use their material. And this is one of the most popular stones in the market. And therefore this guide featured the front cover. And they raised their price significantly. They were a little bit low going to market. Burned stone higher. So, appraised price on this $32.20. Our price online $21.45, and with the 15 off, it's $18.23 or $281 a key. Would be your only chance.
Now the color on this that we're showing now is a little bit closer. Maybe it's a little bit. Is that accurate, or would you say it's like in between the?
I would say this photo's a little better than. Well, I say that, but you get the right light,
right,
and you see this.
Yeah,
it's not like the lights or anything different. I mean, there are LEDs in daylight, which you're going to run into daylight LEDs all the time. I almost have to think about re-educating myself with the new lights, because they are different. And we look at some stones in the LEDs and just go, holy shit. All right. They're just too good. But this is what we deal with now. This is the type of lighting we have. So you are going to get some extraordinary looks, certain stones and certain LED light settings, particularly the fluorescent type. Multiple bulbs involved. Those tend to stones sparkle like. So I think of it as a negative, but could think of it as a positive. It's just the progress in lighting that is good for color generally. Things that look good and incandescent, it's hard to find the right light. And I think, what do we think about daylight with?
I don't recall. It's been a while since I've taken them outside. I don't know. We haven't had very much good daylight here. It's been cold, but yeah, we should take them outside and photograph them. And
so, and I would say that the colors I'm seeing in here are a little bit exaggerated, but all the colors are there. Just not quite as, but it's moonstone. Colors are all, which is a problem with photography. You have to improve some stones, and you have to, particularly like opals. These are colors that.
So somewhere in between the photographs online and this.
Yeah, that would be accurate. Because we were wondering why it didn't photograph it. Because these are the same lights we use.
And this, to me, looks like it's a little weak in comparison to what it is.
Oh, yeah. Much, much, much better. As I was mentioning, this material is different just because of its high trend. Anything previously in rainbow moonstones has been milky, but showed the colors. But this material, because it's so trans, it lends itself to faceting, which is unique. So this was a pretty stone, but it's gone.
We'd
I'll
still
give
like
you a
to.
look at it.
Yeah, we'd still like
Yeah.
to see it. So that Phil picked this one up. Let's take a look at this one. It is an
Right.
amazing stone.
That's what a Portuguese does for you. Gives you most brilliance of probably any cut. 161 facets. $16 girdle. I moved up. Okay. Yeah, let me know. So this is a 5.19 carat. Blue, what is this? 85% blue, 15 violet. And maybe 50, yeah, that's probably accurate. You know, you can see a little violet in this, particularly around the edges, but yeah, it is definitely mostly blue. Thanks, Phil. Just wrapped it up. And always keep in mind this is an iPhone we're using, so color accuracy is inaccurate.
Steve, before we go into that, Tom wanted to know, I know we're skipping ahead, but there is a octagon cut rhodolite garnet, 10.23 carat. He wanted to know, is that too deep for a men's ring?
I think it's pretty shallow. What is the percentage? I don't have it. Is there a measurement on there? Yeah, we'd have to go up to it. So 12.3 by 8.6. I mean, for a stone this size, you can't make it any. So it's right at 70% depth. The shallowest we cut these stones, 65%. Most stones are 80%, so 95% depth. You know, so it's not going to sit up that far. I mean, it's almost 9 millimeters. So the top of the ring is going to be somewhere between probably 8 to 10 millimeters off your finger. Have something with millimeters on it and put it on your finger. You can see how high it's going to set, but that's remarkably shallow for a stone that size. You know, you couldn't really cut it any shallower. But, you know, gonna have a minimum that they can set up, and you know, it's gonna be somewhere around 10 millimeters by the time you set it. All right, this is pretty remarkable stone. I've never owned one or never seen one this big cut. I did back in the 1980s, early 1980s. There was material coming out of Tanzania in these bigger sizes, but since then I've never seen it. So this we found in Tucson from a friend. He had a couple of pieces, and you know, I couldn't pass up on them because the color is incredible. And the size is pretty amazing. There are a couple of dings on this. I'm not sure where they came from. I didn't cut them in there, but I managed to take a little ding out of it. But if you buy a stone, I'll definitely repair it before it goes out. So you won't see those little chips in the base. But anyway, big stone, 87 carats, comes from Tanzania. Scapolite hardness is somewhere 5.5 to 6, so not an extremely hard stone, but a pendant. It's a great pendant stone. You know, and I've done a lot of scapolites and never had an issue with them as far as wearability. And I think I may have done some in a ring. So, you know, as a pendant, it'd be a remarkable piece. Probably a little big for a ring.
Steve, I think you could pull that off. Come on,
Yeah,
mount that up for yourself. You like big rings.
I'm thinking smaller, like no more 30 carat. But you know what's remarkable about this? If you look at most scapolite crystals, they're light. This is the accent color. This is a really good crystal. Won't produce the color that you see in this big stone. Here's another piece of rough. This is the other piece I bought that had a really intense stone. Because this piece of rough's pretty deep. I'm not even sure how to use it yet. Because you have to cut on this axis to get the color. Right, 2 stones.
Maybe saw it in half, cut 2 matching pear shapes. You could have a pendant and earrings.
God, I hate to lose the color, but that's a thought. Makes it saleable. So big scapolite. I haven't ever seen anything this big. You know, maybe I've had 20 carat stone. It's just uncommon in larger stones. No appraised price on this. Not a stone that the books will even, you know, it's rare enough that people don't have any idea what scapolite is or, you know, how to price it. So there is no guide for it. But our price online is $86.90. With the 15 off, it's $73.87. May sound like a lot, but it's $85 a carat. And this stone probably is the largest online. I've never seen anything so big. So, you know, let me know if you find out differently, you know, and whether, you know, the big thing is, yes, could you find a big stone? Maybe. Does it have this color? Color is what's key to this, that depth of color. Because scapolite, I've seen a lot of rough, and it's just usually too light, and really pale yellow is not very exciting. But once you get into this deep golden yellow color, it's pretty amazing look. Nice size pendant. You'll be seen.
And I really don't think that is too big either for a pendant. No, I mean...
Is there such a thing as too big for a pendant? Look at the size things people wear.
Right. But it would be, I think it would make a really cool piece, you know, especially if you put some scroll work or some design on the side of the head or accent it with some diamonds.
It's relatively deep. It's only 10 millimeters. I don't think. It's it's got to be probably 15. Could be 20 millimeters. Yes, that's so deep, but in a pendant, like you say, you do something cool underneath. Not does it have look up front, Joe.
And this stone, while we're on it, we did a video of you cutting it on the Ultratech V5. So I don't know if you want to talk to maybe the cutters out there or aspiring cutters about the equipment that you use.
Yeah. So we're talking about in here the Ultratech The Ultratech V5 is what I use and what I recommend, because it's really the only machine online that I trust that you'll be able to get parts in the future. That's been the problem all time and all the machines that I've ever owned, is that these companies that are only manufacturing cutting machines, they find that there's not enough business really to keep them in business. So all the manufacturers of the machines that I've used in the past, they're gone, and getting parts for them is just not possible. This company's been around for more than 60 years. I think they're maybe in their 60th now. And they manufacture a lot of other type of machineries for hospital business and high-tech machines. So this is not a requirement for them to survive selling this machine, because there's a limited amount of faceted machines you're going to sell. But we've sold quite a few of them. So just really a great machine, something you can trust will reproduce when you cut it, you want it to reproduce it when you're polishing. And this machine is accurate enough, has a gauge that is extremely accurate. You look at some of the designs and they say the angle is 49.5 or 49.3 degrees. This will reproduce that with the digital display that's on it, and you do get that kind of accuracy. So they also sell a VL, which is a less expensive piece. Doesn't come with the digital, but you can add it to it also. So these machines are something that very high tech, high quality machines. This one, I think you're probably mid to upper 5,000s for the machine, which may sound like a lot, but if you want to get into business, it's probably the cheapest business you could get into, as far as buying equipment and buying something high quality that you won't have issues with. So definitely recommend the Ultratech V5. And if you do order one, mention my name, because I'll send you some nice rough to get started on, or you'll probably want to wait on this, what I send you, till you do try something a little less expensive. But I'll send you a piece of rough, and I am a rep for Ultratech V5. All right, it's my pitch. Great machine, though, as you can see, stones we cut. Like this Scapolite, really amazing stone. Sorry about the chips that are on it, and I'm really sorry about it. Oh, that's an hour work. But really amazing stone, large stone. If anybody sees anything larger out there, I've looked a little bit, but haven't found anything. Sometimes when you get something that's extraordinary, it's because they hit a big pocket of it, and there could be lots of it. But I didn't see that as being the case while we were out in Tucson. So hopefully I got the only two, and I've got something truly unique, which I believe is true. All right, next is up. This is an unusual stone, something, again, I've never seen. This is natural color to a point. It is heated, but I quit cutting green quartz, or prasiolite, it's known as, because the material is irradiated, and I knew that, but it does fade. It's like Kunzite. So I just have chosen not to cut it for that reason, because very inexpensive material, not a lot of profit in it anyway. Cut's a beautiful stone, but when they're irradiated, just the risk of how quickly they can lose their color. Because some irradiated stones, you put them an hour in sunlight and man, it's gone. So I haven't done a test on the rough I have, but I know it fades. Whereas this stone is heated, and unlike irradiated material, typically will not fade. I've not tested the stone to know that, but that's my experience. Radiated stones tend to fade. Non-irradiated stones tend not to.
And I have a couple more pieces of rough. I bought this on just a whim. I thought it was neat. There wasn't much big material. There wasn't any big material. Yeah. This was the big. This was the big material. I got 3 other pieces. I'll test one of the other pieces that I've got.
I guess you have to.
Yeah,
and I would bet that you're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, I thought it was a cool color, kind of something a little different, unique, and I wanted to try it out.
I've never seen natural green before.
Yeah.
Ever. So we were kind of surprised. And, this is from our quartz supplier who has supplied us just incredible amethysts. All the amethysts we have came from him, and he had this material. And, he just occasionally comes up with some unique stuff, just recent finds. So cool stone. So 5.15 carat green quartz, no appraised price, but $490 is our price online. And the 15 off, it's $417 or $81 a carat. How many hours did it take you, Mike?
Probably a little more than what the stone is worth, but I wanted to cut it, and I'm happy I did. I think it turned out really nicely.
You did a great job.
Yeah.
As always. Okay. Oh, you want me to show it too?
Yeah, it'd take all that time.
I only do that for my stones. If you tell me. All right. Nice life for an emerald cut. Oop. A good life to an emerald cut. Emerald cuts typically don't have a lot of life, but the way you cut this one makes it shimmer a little better. Too busy chatting away. Nice. So it's an emerald cut with a split facet.
And this is something that you started doing a little more regularly, right?
Yeah.
Because I was going to do something different, but you suggested doing this. I think I ran into an inclusion or something, and we took it out, cutting it this way.
Yeah, I like it better than an emerald. I do like emerald cuts. They do something for color, but this does that, plus it gives you All right, and up next is Eileen Stone. And a crazy brilliance. So, natural Tanzanite. Again, heat this to somewhere over 875 degrees. I typically heat to 1050. I just heated a stone trying to get it to not change completely, and I heated it to 875 and it changed completely. So kind of surprised that it did that. They do change at a lower temperature. I knew 900 was enough. I thought 875 might leave. It was just, you'll see it later, it's a pear shape I heated that just was almost red to start with in the untreated stone. And I was going to try and save a little of the natural color by heating it low, but didn't work. So I heated it high, and that's the one with so much red in it. Pretty remarkable, which will be up soon. Okay, so that one sold. Here's another one of Michael's cuts. An Opal garnet. It did come from Tanga, huh?
And this one sold as well to Caesar.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this looks like mahenge. It's so light and bright. And Tanga. That's
Yeah.
what he said.
And sorry, no, Eileen actually picked up this stone.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, I think
Cool.
I missed that one.
Thanks,
Yes,
Eileen.
Eileen, yes, thank you, Eileen.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's pretty sweet. I really like this one too.
Just remarkably light for Tanga.
And Eileen, that was probably, I think that's my second Tanzanite. First natural Tanzanite I've cut though. I've cut 2 so far. Both of them came from crystals that I didn't end up selling as crystals. They had gem material in them. And the first one I cut was heated into a Portuguese cut, and this would be my second one, which is the first natural though.
If you had it by next show, it'd be heated. But that's really the good opportunity with naturals. You know, when they have a beauty of their own in the natural, it's nice to try and sell them that way. And if they don't, you can always heat them and they'll become a different stone. Great beauty, and that one will be a beauty. All right, another Michael stone. This is ametrine. Comes from Bolivia, a bicolor quartz. Amethyst citrine combination. These are natural, no treatments. Been a lot of debate over that over the years, but when you see pictures of the rough material in the mine, you pretty much know they didn't heat the whole mine because it looks, obviously bicolor material. So 21.13 karat VS1 clarity, so very, very clean gem, very nicely cut. Appraised price of $1,350. $840 is our online price. And with the 15 off, it's $714 or $34 a carat. Still amazes me that, something as unique as this is in a single source gem, it's really single source for fine quality. You'll see some bicolor out of Brazil and other sources, but not like these. So pretty much a single source gem and so remarkably inexpensive. I own the mine. If I owned the mine, it'd be more. Oh. Need a game plan. We had a sale?
Yes. I don't know his first name. I'm just going to call him M. They just picked up that 21.13 karat ametrine.
All right, well, here it is.
Very cool. Thank you. Hope you love it.
All right, thank you. Michael, you've done well.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I'm glad you like what you saw.
This next one's scary.
This next one's special. This is
Next one is
this is special.
It's scary buying it.
Yeah, but man, what just a killer color.
When have I ever owned anything over 10 karat?
I don't know. Yeah, and the
I don't know
size.
if I've had anything 10 karat or bigger in sapphire.
This thing's
It's
sweet.
25.75 karat. Huge.
I think even Mom, when I came in here today, Mom's like, "Oh, did you see that green sapphire?" So Mom says it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
I had to call her to find out if she wanted me to buy it. Pretty major investment, and it's an unusual color, but as I showed you in the gem guide, it's a color that is very popular now, so the prices are going up. And mostly, well, there's been several sources. Not only Australia is the original source of these kind of colors. Nigeria has been producing. Not sure if Namibia produces this color or not, but there are several sources, and then Montana, of course, much more green stones, but not. I don't see much from Montana. This, I don't see much from anywhere that looks like this. Just a big rock.
Man, that's just awesome.
Probably a little intense. We probably should back. You do that?
Yeah.
Always nice that the camera does. Good is this. Too good. Oh. Excuse me 1 second.
And in the meantime, you guys can give us a thumbs up or hit those thumbs down there, because like I say in every show, Michael's not happy with me if I don't get at least 100 likes. So if you've been watching and you're having a good time, please just hit that little button of thumbs up, and definitely subscribe if you want more videos like this or want to be notified when our next
Give me the
show
screen
is.
there a second. Yeah, I think it's particularly, this stone, daylight, diffused daylight, just freaking amazing. It's really what sold me on the stone. Because, what would we call that? Just a soft blue-green, I don't know, just daylight's the best, but I guess really what sold me is no matter what light you go into, dark always has brilliance, and different lights, a little difference in the unique color. Sometimes you get more of the yellow green, sometimes you get more of the blue green, depending on the lighting source. But just a unique gem, and 25 carats. I mean, it's a monster. Clean stone. Only there's some. There's a common inclusion. It's not really an inclusion, but a little bit of haze. I mean, if you light it from the side, you can get see a little bit of smoky look. I'm not even sure how it affects the grading because it's microscopic. It's not inclusion that you could say, well, this size, the VS or an SI1 or whatever, because it's
And just going to jump in here.
And if you look at, you can see as the light goes across that there's just a little bit of like fog, but it's there, and I don't think it affects the grading much, and it doesn't affect the brilliance at all. It probably affects it a little bit, but this stone is just brilliant as can be, so the effect is minimal. And to find a stone this big that doesn't have other inclusions, visible inclusions, or even not visible inclusions, small inclusions. This thing is just clean, other than that little bit of fog. So pretty remarkable gem. This stone at 25.75 carat, it comes from Australia. GI certified. Graded. There's a port. It is heated. Is 90% of all sapphire. but just a really beautiful stone. And, so 48.9 is our price online. 41,565 is the price with the 15 off, and it's $1,614 a carat. I have 2 carat stones priced that high, even in the greens. I'm sure if
And this one, I just love the way it looks in natural daylight. It changes to this beautiful blue green and just such a amazing color for, you know, a light that anybody's gonna have at any time. You know, you go outside and
yeah, all that yellow goes away.
yeah, it's just
It's
it
just
is
that
remarkable.
blue green just across the entire stone. And I know that when we walked outside and looked at that, I go, oh. I mean, it sold me for. Yeah, in the 50 years I've been at this, never owned one, never seen anything like this before. Would be a ring. And it's the big thing, it's durable enough for sapphire. 10 hardness is a thing that will withstand quite a bit of abuse. Everyday stone, yes. You know, this is one stone that is tougher than diamond, not harder than diamond. Close, it's next closest thing. And but toughness blows diamond away. Diamond has cleavage plane and seen them split. Catch them just right. Split where is not the nature of the stone. No cleavage. Just a good wearable gem.
So the gem guide appraises this at 90,000. Is that right?
I probably cut that back.
Yeah, yeah. Just
No,
yeah.
you know, we can't be doing. I think the original number I came up with was 118,000. Yeah, that's maybe beyond what I think. So, aimed it down a little. Probably shouldn't. I probably should just go by the guide. But there, you know, it's a question of what they're looking at as what is the greens. To me, this is one of the finest I've ever seen. Like I said, looking at it in diffused daylight, it just blew us away.
And I don't even know if you brought up the cutting quality in comparison to a lot of other
it's
stones, you know?
Beautifully cut. Yeah. Yeah, that's another key to it. This cutter, which wasn't me, but they just did a great job on the cutting. You know, it's got everything. You know, find a sapphire that's totally symmetric. You know, usually the culettes are off center. So they cut for weight, so you don't get this perfect symmetry. Giving that remarkable brilliance. Truly a one-of-a-kind stone. Huge size. You know, and the pricing guides don't go with stones this big. I don't know what the biggest they grade. 15 carat. No reason to put a price for something that typically isn't available. Green sapphire, yeah, well, they go to 20 carat, so they almost make it. And the extra fine wholesale, so $37.50 a carat. That's like 100,000. Typically on appraised, you know, you're going to put a markup on it. So, you know, whether this makes the extra fine, I think it does, but
Question. Steven wants to know, the sapphire best for a ring or a pendant at that size?
I would love it as a ring. Not for me personally, but I mean, it would be a showpiece for sure. You know, it's probably something like I should have myself, but I'm not totally trustworthy. Rings traveling, and so I don't know I want to have something that valuable on my finger, but that's where I think it should go, because again, it's something that you're going to want to look at. You just, when you wear it, you know, it's just so much easier to take a look at your hand and just wow than having to pull a pendant up and try and see it, you know. But it works as either. You know, that's another test that Michael did on it.
I was just going to mention that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I held it up like it was a pendant, and just to see how, you know, the brilliance still looked if you held it up vertically, and it looked great. So as a pendant, I mean, you still see an amazing brilliance throughout the stone, great color. So I think either way, you know, if you're buying it for your significant other to wear and you wanted to see it, you know, while she was wearing it, that's a great way to do it too.
And it's big enough that it'll be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, either place, you know, that it's a good point, because not everything looks good in a pendant. You know, particularly dark stones, and you know, their issues. And this is a deeper color, but like Mike says, its life remains no matter what angle you hold it at. So it's critical, you know, if you want to put a stone in a pendant, you just take a good look on how it's going to look to others. You know, when they look slightly down on it, is it going to still be lively? Key point for sure.
And Cameron, if you purchase a stone online, you can either choose to pick it up in store if you want to drive up to see it and start a design process, or we can ship it to you so you can take a look at it and then give us a call. We can do it by Zoom. Pretty much however you want to do it. Either way, if you purchase it, just feel free to give us a call tomorrow and let us know what you want to do.
All right, next is the next hidden gem, Jeffrey.
I was prepared this time,
I shouldn't have said.
So everybody that's just joining us, you know, if you heard me already, sorry. So this is a hidden gem. This is going to be 25% off. These hidden gems, we pop them out there because a lot of people do purchase early. So if you use coupon code RARE25 at checkout on MoreGems.com, you will get 25% off this amazing stone that Steve's about to talk about.
So, not sure why I did hidden gem on this. I should have charged extra. It's a beauty. It was a process, you know, different cut. I did a little different style on this cut that I've never done before. You know, I like this hexagonal shape. Hexagons and octagons, I like to cut more of them. Just I'm pleased with how they cut. This stone, when I finished it, it was a bit on the dark side. In a regular incandescent light, it was the most amazing gem I'd ever seen. But when you got it in a lot of other lights, it was just too dark. So, threw it in the oven, and I'd done one for you, Michael. I think a trillion. Was it a trillion? Okay. It was a little dark, and we hit the right temperature on it that just lightened it up just the least bit. Because you lighten them up too much, that blue secondary color is going to be gone. You know, it's just going to be a purple gem, you know, which is pretty, but you like the pleochroic colors out of this type of amethyst. And this comes from Bahia, and this is the kind of color that's really close to what Rwanda is. And Rwanda was particularly known for that strong pleochrism. Sounds exciting. Good pendant size. You can see still lively and low lighting. Before heating we couldn't even photograph, which it is a tough stone to photograph. You look at it, just see.
And with that, Steve, about talking about heating, there was a question on Instagram. She was under the impression that heating causes the color to go away.
Yes, which is what we were doing.
Okay, in this case, you were doing that. So why does
just
that
trying
happen?
to reduce the intensity of the color. Why it does that, couldn't tell you. What exactly it does to the structure of the color, don't know. Anybody knows? Let me know.
And Heather, I see your comment there. If you'd like to buy a stone from the show tonight, you just go to MoreGems.com. You'll click the green banner at the top of the page or the main image banner. That'll take you to the collection of all the stones we're showing tonight. This one should now appear. If you already have that open, make sure to refresh the page, and then you can go through the checkout process on our website. So if you have any other questions, just let us know. I think Jeffrey just dropped a link into the chat.
Yeah, she was also she loved that ametrine that we were looking at, or that we sold earlier. So I did find another ametrine on MoreGems.com for her. So if you like that ametrine or this amethyst, like Mike said, just go to MoreGems.com.
So this one, appraised price $59.80. Our price online $27.45, and with the 25% off, it's $2,059 or $34 a carat.
And Heather, make sure to put in, if you like this amethyst, put in the coupon code RARE25 at checkout. That'll give you 25% off the listed price.
All right, up next.
Been here. Cameron picked up the oval cut moonstone, 6.49 carat.
All right.
Nice,
stone.
very cool, Cameron. Thank you.
You'll be glad you did
Yes.
in the future.
Yes, that is a
That's what we were in
super
search
stone.
for in Tucson. I remember.
Yeah,
we
were hunting for
we
that.
sent Jeffrey out on a hunt.
I was out there hunting, and then you guys found like a great seller. So I was like,
these were people that we dealt with.
Right. We kind
I
of
think you guys were just like, go out and hunt, Jeff. We'll be over here.
Yeah, we tried to get rid of it.
Well, where did you end up?
Well, I was going down aisle through aisle, and but I'm glad you guys
did
found
find
it.
some.
Yeah.
We probably never went to look because we
Yeah,
bought so
that's
much.
true.
But,
Thanks for making me feel better.
yeah, but it probably sucked in, which most of it does. Most of the material that's out there is not very exciting, not much color to it. And so finding great material is always exciting. But it was a good trip for moonstone. We bought, I won't say plenty. We probably should have looked further and spent more money on it.
We should have bought that suite that they had
Yeah.
at
probably.
hindsight 2020, but
Because it really wasn't that much more, was it?
it was a lot. There was a lot of stones. So, I mean,
Yeah, and they all matched. It
Yeah.
looked like you had to do something with it,
Right.
or it was a sin.
and I mean, our budget was pretty well spent by then. So it's tough sometimes, unfortunately, you have to pass on some great things when you're buying other great things. You've only got
All
so
we're
much to
talking
work
about
with.
Is a suite like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I don't even know that wasn't sweet, but yeah. Oh well. Yeah, probably should have. It was what we were after, but we bought a lot. Quite a few. So, up next is this pretty incredible Tanzanite. The stone, in my memory, I'm sure I had a couple as good, but this stone has so much red in it. No matter what light you go into it, it's got red. And thank you. It's redder than that. I mean, this is one that red is the dominant color you see when you look at the stone in the right light anyway. In the lights I've looked at it, there's just so much red flash. A lot of this all that stuff that looks purple in this light is red flash. and it's pretty much everything. It sparkles all the time. Kind of a unique tanzanite from that standpoint. Weighs 32.89 carats. This is stone I tried to half heat because the cut stone unheated was almost red. Almost looked good enough to leave as it was, but if you took in daylight, it went brown. So I tried on another piece of cut stone to do a lower temperature, but it didn't really work. I just heated this, and thrilled I did. I mean, a stone with this much red is pretty extremely rare thing. And looked at tanzanites that we've shown, you never see them in these lights with this much red flash. It's remarkable in that state. So a rating of 988 out of 1,000. I could have been a perfect stone, but pretty critical on cutting, perfectioning. Not too often I give myself 1,000 cutting. I gave this a
Looks like 1,000 to me, Dad.
Yeah, it could have easily. Yeah, this could be 1,000 stone. I should, when they're extraordinary or have an extraordinary feature like the red flash in this, there should be a bonus. It makes 1,000, or it could be even higher, but 1,000's the highest, so make it 1,000. If there's a thing like a perfect cut. So it's verbally 1,000, but it's a 988 online. Praise price $41,070. Our price $23,850. With the 15 off, it's $20,273 or $616 a carat for one of the finest tanzanites on the planet.
And jumping back to the discussion on heating amethyst, I don't know, but someone from the vertical chat on YouTube said heating an amethyst causes the iron impurities to change valence, and hence the color changes. So
I thought that would.
Yeah.
But I did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's what somebody mentioned in the chat.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Which is a common changing. Yeah. Whoop. Probably aquamarine, same situation. Anyway, here's this stone as a pendant. Thought twice about wearing these. But a pretty remarkable tanzanite. Right, we had a sale.
So I am happy that I know Heather missed out on the ametrine, but I'm happy she picked up that hidden gem amethyst.
Oh, cool.
That's cool. Yes. That's amazing stuff.
Yeah, I was excited about the cut. I did something different than a step cut on the top, and it worked really well. And I think I did a fairly remarkable job with the meats. Not sure it's perfect, but it's near. I was
Cool.
thinking about
Thanks,
Michael
Heather.
while I was doing this. Got to keep up with my son. Let's see, what do we have in rough we should... Oh, after the tanzanites, yeah. Let's look at these monster tanzanite crystals.
this one I picked up while we were in Tanzania. Super cool shape. It's not gem quality by any means, but the crystal structure is really pretty amazing and just big size. Big size.
That's a big crystal. So this is available on Mineral Mike. And then here's the natural color. Heated. Not necessarily how they always look. But it is unheated.
Yeah, this one is unheated. This one I picked up while we were in Tanzania as well. That one's kind of cool. The termination of the crystal goes to a yellow color, which you see that quite a bit with these natural crystals. If you heat them, the body of the crystal will go to like a deeper blue purple, and that yellow tends to turn to just a light purplish blue color. Looks like it. I think it may have some either prehnite or diopside crystals that are attached to it as well. Yeah. It's like diopside and maybe an apatite crystal towards the. You can see the blue crystals on there. I believe that's apatite.
Who? Oh, yeah, a little teeny guy there. Huh. Oh, yeah. Here.
Yeah. So it's a pretty neat, complex crystal with some
there's one
interesting
at the
things
tip.
on it.
One up there at the tip. Ah, cool.
But yeah, big crystal, big.
All right, next up. I thought this was pretty remarkable because it is the rainbow. I mean, it is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Catch the angle just right. Right at the edge, it goes violet. Trust me. But the full rainbow, Roy G. Biv. Just a nice, unique piece. This is amethyst that comes from Alberta, Canada. We were up there to go mining, which there's video online about that. I don't know this. Oh, this is from recent. So, $425 is the price on this amethyst. And with the 15 off, it's $361 or $22 a carat. Just cool stuff. You know, I just remark that, you know, there's even opal rarely has the kind of brilliant colors that you see in amethysts.
That was a really fun trip. Up there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We went to Montana for sapphire mining,
Yep.
and then it was another 2.5 hours
Yeah.
to get up to Lethbridge, where the amethysts are.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That was climb on the side of the that river there.
Yeah, that was a little difficult.
That was exhausting.
Yeah.
Black widow holes. Remember those? That was my least favorite part. I'm not a spider.
Is that
guy.
what he said there was?
Yes, I was
Yeah.
just watching everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was a steep ledge. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be looking right at them.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing scarier is when I'm out in Tucson. First time I climbed a mountain there, and it was that same kind of steep, and I'm thinking rattlesnakes. You know, they pop right out of a hole, and
You just grab their
Get you
tail
around
and
the
whip them
neck,
around.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
fine.
yeah, I feel safer with a black widow, but unless he's up my pants. Anyway, Amethyst from Canada. Really, really cool stuff, and something I've dealt with from back in the early, probably middle 1980s. I dealt selling wholesale for Corite, which is another company. We don't buy from Corite, but they are the competition. All right, up next, we've talked about it, and here it is. Portuguese cut peridot. Comes from Pakistan.
Now, did you cut this one?
No, I didn't. That's what I'm saying. They
right.
did look at the meats.
It's
They did a remarkable job.
they do really nice
I mean,
cutting.
Yeah.
I can
yeah,
tell now because we don't do smooth girdles. We usually have
Yes.
a faceted girdle.
Yeah. One easy way to ID it. You know, I think in Europe maybe they don't like faceted girdles because faceted girdles they give a little challenge to the setter because there's sharp edges that you can chip when you're setting. So I would guess that's why the Europeans don't like people that cut faceted girdles. You know, if there's Europeans out there, is that true where you're at? But most cutting that's done in Asia, they don't facet the because they typically have not used the type of equipment that would easily produce a faceted. Just rounded the girdle. And we use the faceted girdle and assist to getting all the cutting to match. All right, this peridot weighs 5.93 carats, a appraised price of $23.70. Our price online $1,260. With the 15 off, it's $1,071 or $181 a carat. Again, the brilliance of a Portuguese cut is quite amazing. Peridot from Pakistan. All right, next up. This was a challenge to cut for sure, but worked out well. You know, the issue with this rough and almost all green tourmalines is the one axis is yellow-green and the other axis is blue-green, and we'd like to maintain the blue-green just because the value of blue-green is dramatically higher than yellow-green. So we try and keep as much of the blue-green in it as possible, and this one worked out pretty well. This type of material, like Peridot tourmaline and many tourmalines, is more included. But what you see in the camera is way over dramatized. Very difficult to see in person. Bright lights show it up, but probably yeah. Really great in daylight. Blue shows out dramatically. Just a really beautiful blue-green color. Weighs 21.10 carats. kind of see as far as those inclusions just barely show. Really have to look in good light. See a few at the inner. Big difference from photography, and as I've mentioned over and over again, these cameras show all. If you have inclusions in stones, it's a reason we don't do emerald and we don't do ruby typically, is because anything that's in them goes up, and there's often always a lot in both of them. Appraised price on this $28,550. Our price online $16,990, and with the 15 off, it's $14,442 or $684 a carat.
Yeah, this is really special color stone. The rough looked amazing, and when you cut it, you kept that blue in there, like you said, kept that yellow out, and just a really cool shape. Well, probably pendant for this, huh? Yeah, that, oh man, that'd be pretty sweet.
It's good life. And a big stone.
A couple questions. The morganite, the pear-shaped morganite that's further down the list, are we going to show that tonight or no? We're not. No.
The what?
The okay.
Is it a pear-shaped morganite was in?
Yeah. Let's see.
Really?
It was a 3.69 carat.
Huh. Where that went?
All right. Well.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was in the show.
Yeah.
And it was because it was one that has been around forever. It needed a repair, and I finally decided to get into the repair box and at least do a couple. That was the good one to do because it's, for a small stone like that, pretty remarkable color. Small morganite's tough to get any color, but that one, I have no idea where it's at. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, we can, if you want to take a look at it, you can always do like a Zoom session. Otherwise, if you have some questions, you can email us at sales@MoreGems.com, and we're happy to, if you want another different type of video, but there should be a video as well. So.
Yeah, it's a good stone. I mean, for its size, there's few morganites that will vie with the depth of color of it.
Also, let me see. I'm sorry. Emerald Kitty? Yeah. Could you just show the 11.07 carat Cambodian again?
FN. That's F. We don't use that setting much. Thumbstone. Yeah, which this A. A little more purple than that. It's in between those two. Yeah. It's not quite that purple, or we call it a purple garnet. And the picture that's on the site is the most. It's a great stone. I was thrilled with it when I finished it. You never know with this color whether it's going to be dark or just what the color is going to be, but this one I couldn't have asked for.
All right, we got a few sales that came in. Let's thank these. So Rick picked up that beautiful Portuguese cut Peridot,
Nice.
5.93 carat.
Cool. Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, that was an amazing piece. And Gary picked up the round brilliant cut Umbalite, 3.15 carat. A lot of people ask about these Umbalites. We did well for those in the past too, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
Those
it's
are
just
really
a
cool
remarkable
stones.
color.
Yeah.
I mean, those are colors that 10 years ago weren't available. Mahenge came out, and it's remarkable how often this happens. That one source comes out and produces these remarkably light-colored garnets, which had never been seen before. And then you get other mining areas that produce similar colors, like Tanga, both in Tanzania. So it is something that, while it was coming out, I invested a lot in it, and it's still material that's available, because I know in all my time in business, it's never been better than it is right now. These rhodolite and umbalite, which umbalite is basically a lighter rhodolite that came from the Umba Valley. So these lighter colors are what's really incredible, because they cut so bright. Always get a very bright stone, which in rhodolite in the past, it was often just a little bit too dark. Yeah, those sell well.
Very cool. Well, thank you.
Did you say you had another sale?
I think there'll be another sale tonight, but
Oh,
there's
okay.
not one currently. We're waiting for that next one.
Okay. Well, let it be this one. So, I talked about the stone that I heated at a lower temperature, trying to see if I could maintain some of the natural color. And this was the stone I did it on. I was really working to do this effect to that 32 carat, but I thought maybe it's better to try something that you haven't tested on something cheaper. So I chose a $4,000 stone instead of a $22,000 stone. Heated to 875, and it actually changed to this color, which kind of surprised me. It really got its full color change at 875 degrees, which is unusual. Typically, you've got to get closer to 1,000 to get all the color. But in this case, I didn't see any difference in the stone when I heated it to 875 or when I finally heated it to 1050. Virtually the same stone. So, kind of interesting that you could affect this kind of color change at such a low temperature, which has not been my experience in the past. So, different mines, different way they heat. But anyway, weighs 701. Nice, brilliant cut. A or L. AO. This is L. So we're talking about changing the color settings on the camera, because when you're photographing, you have to change for different colors so the camera will produce fairly accurately. Because it is rare that we do any photoshopping of the colors, and we do our best to get them right in the camera. Occasionally, there's colors the camera can't produce, blue greens and we have trouble with. Greens, yeah, the camera can't produce. Chrome tourmalines and the blue zircons are two colored stones that we get accurate. And it's unfortunate because the accurate colors of the stones is truly remarkable. So, this is 7.01 carat Tanzanite. It is a VS2. It has a very minor veil in the crown. We haven't seen it since I cut it, but I know there's a teeny bit of something there. I thought I got it all out, but it's very, very, very small. Rating of 958 out of 1,000. And part of that is, I lose 50 points. Actually, fourth of 50 points by being a VS2. Lose 15 points just for that. My grading system. Ramble on. But anyway, really bright stone. Happy with how the brilliance came out. 40% blue, 60% violet. Appraise price of $7,150. $39.90 is our price online. With the 15 off, it's $33.92 or $484 a carat. Nice ring stone. Or a pen. Big enough for.
So a question came in from the vertical YouTube stream. In your opinion, what is the purest blue color in any gemstone? For example, comparing the blue Wayne or the cobalt blue spinel or royal blue sapphire. And I don't know, how do you say, is it Wayne? Yeah, I don't ever know that's actually exactly pronounced, but
I think royal blue sapphire. Me, the purest blue. But we all perceive colors differently. I constantly ask people, what the heck is this color? Alice here, she's our graduate gemologist, and at a color book she look in, but it's always difficult to describe colors. We'll have different opinions just looking at a stone, and that's not how I see it. And we've seen it dramatically in ruby, what people perceive as red, and totally different. Some people perceive pinkish red as red, violet red as red. I know what I perceive as red. I'm right. Only because, as I've mentioned, I shot a pigeon once by accident, and the red blood, man, just red. I have pretty red blood. Too much of it recently. Just minor cuts, but.
All right, we're getting kind of gory
Anyway.
here. I was just.
What was the question?
Yeah.
It was
I'm
blue.
finishing a chat here. And
Royal
I'm here
blue.
about pigeon blood and all this other stuff. So
Jeffrey doesn't know about the pigeon blood, huh?
yeah, I was just overhearing.
Yeah, Dad's out in the backyard comparing.
Could I ask a different question?
Don't go out and shoot a pigeon just to
Yes.
find out what red is.
All right, I have a question from the horizontal
But
YouTube channel.
It is pigeon blood ruby.
Yes,
That
I know
is
it's been
the
called
reddest
that.
ruby.
Yes, it's true. This I know we've talking about. We spoke about before in other shows. The Doug Studio would like to know: will morganite fade in direct sunlight?
Will morganite? Well, supposedly peach colors fade to pink, but most of the morganite out right now is enhanced by irradiation. and I don't believe that it fades. But that said, I'm not 100% on that over a long period organized. Something that I need to do more research on, and we have some organized fade tests. Suppose I could piece rough.
Nothing off the top of my head, but
I've heard reports of that. I have not seen that. I have not had anybody say that a stone of theirs faded. So I have no, as many morganites as I've sold, I've had nobody say that they fade. We know that the Nigerian material, you can take peach color and turn it pink. So pink is generally more valued. So it wasn't a negative change, but for me, I like the peach. So the big question would be, is irradiated morganite from Mozambique, will it fade? And again, I've not heard reports of that other than one time somebody mentioning that, but I do not know that it does fade. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. I'll try not to ramble on. Okay, next stone. Blue zircon. Didn't we do a heart already?
I think we did. We had two of them on the show.
2 hearts, huh?
Yeah, that
Wasn't intended, but
there's
2 hearts.
Two hearts on there. They're both nice ones. So
Yeah. Well, they are. And I picked one. Didn't think I needed 2 hearts. But this also is another fine heart. Again, I don't remember ever having heart-shaped blue zircon. My time in, not something typically they cut overseas. But hearts for me have been pretty good sellers, so I'm glad to have some. This is a 5.40 carat, appraised value of $29.60. $13.70 is our price online. And with the 15 off, it's $11.65 or $216 a carat. Another stone I think is a bargain in the business. Tanzanite $600 a carat. Aquamarines are deep colors like this are $1,000 a carat. Zircon, limited source, comes from Cambodia. Some material currently Malawi, although that particular material is limited now. They've stopped some of the export, trying to keep the cutting in country. Happened a few countries, including the Tanzanite, Tanzania, limit. You say they try to limit, but there's a lot of it in India. Does get out, but they try and limit it just to keep cutting in the country. The big issue is there's not enough cutters in these. Keep up with production. It's an issue, but it's a good concept. So anyway, this blue zircon, really deep color for zircon. That's did really well this trip. Was very deep colors, and the deeper the color, the more valued the gem is. Therefore, why it has such a high appraise value, just buy these really well from right source and get some really great prices on very deep colored stones. And I didn't show it.
Oh,
Finger or
the heart?
yeah.
All right, do that first, and then I got some questions for you.
All right.
Again,
great.
for those people that's just joining us, Handy is no longer around due to overwhelmingly unsupported. They didn't support Handy because of it looked creepy. So
Who you were talking about? who didn't we
yes,
support?
so Handy's not around. That was the hand that we used to use. We're going to come up with something else so we don't have to use Steve's big fingers.
Oh, we should hang it in the back. I think.
I actually hid it in a drawer so somebody gets freaked out when they open the drawer. So we'll see who does.
We got to find a nice hand. But any hand models watching, we have
I liked it
opportunities.
because the size was right.
What?
For a petite woman,
Yeah.
the size of the hand
We
was
just need to
great.
make it look better.
Yeah. Need to spray paint it or
Throw it
give
in
it
the
some
oven.
nails.
Throw it in the oven. Get some brilliance out of it. It'll be good. Okay, so questions. Max wanted to know, he may have missed this, but why is Steve so enamored by moonstone aside from how pretty it is?
Because, well, it's the first time it's ever been found. You know, that's an exciting time. You find a gem
Well,
that in your entire time in business have never come out of the ground, and all of a sudden it's available.
well, there's been rainbow moonstone, just not this gem quality facet grade
Yes.
material.
Yes. Nothing facet grade has ever been, to my knowledge, has never come out of the ground. Probably had the exception as far as a supply of material that could be faceted and looked good faceted. That has never happened before. So, that's exciting. And then knowing that the mine is played out is a little pressure on me. I want to own more. And like I said, hopefully when we get to Bangkok, there'll be more available. But I have quite a bit right now. I think it's the right stone to own. And anytime you have something that's rare and a one-time find, it's a right thing to own, because come 5 years from now, there'll be none. Will not be able to buy this.
All right.
Hopefully that's not true, but that's likely what it's going to be. That's good reason to be excited about it. And it's just pretty. It's like what's the topaz?
Yeah, the mystic topaz,
Everybody
but
loved
natural.
mystic topaz because it had all these colors, just like this in it. But it was man-made. This is something that came out of the ground as a real thing and has all these beautiful rainbow colors in it, and it's cool stuff.
All right, we done?
Yep.
Okay.
Now it's time for hidden gem.
Oh, okay. I got more questions, but you want to talk about the hidden gem?
Well, we can do both.
Okay. Well,
Let's see if
I
I
got to
can do
launch the
two
hidden
things
gem.
at once.
All right, so the hidden gem's coming up. Give me 1 minute, and that new hidden gem will be available at MoreGems.com.
What's the question?
You want a question? Okay.
Oh, this is a blue light? Oh, this is a blue light,
Blue light
special.
special.
Whoa.
Okay. Blue light
An
special.
extra
This is
5%.
30% off.
Yeah,
Okay.
30%.
All right. I will launch this in 1 minute. During this time, Steve, you can also think about why you haven't started the fantasy cutting yet.
I don't want to talk.
Well,
I
we did
moved
talk
the
about it,
machine.
actually. Me and Steve had a meeting. We're going to set a date, just because it is tough to try and learn something new when we're trying to produce for these shows. But we are going to sit down, both of us, and start using the fantasy machine. And I think it'll add a little bit something different to what we already do. I don't know whether it's going to be a majority of what we do, but it'll be nice to add something a little bit different and unique.
Yeah. I mean, I like it a lot. I still think normal faceting is more important, but it does produce a unique look and something good to have in our repertoire. And I always wanted to do it back after I first met Bernd Moonsteiner in Germany, and was something that at that time I tried to develop equipment myself, and it was too hard, but now I've got a machine that'll do it, and we will do it this month. Is right? Or
Yes, this month we'll set a date. We're gonna set aside some time, and Well, hopefully for the next show, we'll have our first concave faceted gemstone. Hopefully.
Yep. That's the goal. Okay, you ready with this hidden gem or a question?
Do the hidden gem.
Okay.
It's listed
No,
now.
this is a blue light special.
Blue light special.
Sorry.
If you refresh the page where all the stones are on MoreGems.com, this will now show up. Use Blue 30 at checkout for 30% off this price.
So it's a more blue zircon. You know, I think blue zircon was the best buy we made in gems. Flash strip. That's why you said there's extras we're not going to show are available just because the colors are. And then you look at these, and these are cut right. They're not extra depth. These are the special stones that our supplier showed that he just started to recut. So they cost us a little bit extra, but not much. But when you set them, they won't set as high. Make a nice pair. These weigh 2.69 carats. $6.90 is our price online. And with the 30% off, it's $483 or $179. Was that these blue zircons?
Yes, Gary picked up these blue zircons.
Nice.
Really great
Thanks, Gary.
pair of earrings.
Steve's ears are a little bigger than the average woman's ears.
Hey. But it's a nice size for an earring, you know, and being so bright, they're going to be seen. Beautiful pair. Okay, thank you.
And I'm going to shout out another purchase by Emily. This is an amazing stone. Umbalite's killing it tonight. The 11.07 carat.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Thank
Really
you, Emily.
Nice.
That's a cool stone.
Yes, beautiful stone.
Definitely
Thank
one
you.
of the finest I've cut. I've cut a lot of them. So, yeah, it was the one stone that when I took it out of the DOP and out of the solvent and looked at it, yeah, good stone.
I do remember seeing this, and yeah, I was pretty blown away by it too. Like, oh, wow, yeah. Now that you mentioned that, yeah, you first showed that to me, it's a stunner.
Speaking of stunners, do you have any questions? Oh, right after this one.
Okay.
Give me a sec.
Yeah, I got a couple more. We'll do this one first.
So this is just amazing. The amount of color it has. It is what I call a semi-black. And one of the separations I have semi-black, white opal, you know, as far as in these Ethiopians particularly, is the background it looks best on. You know, anything that looks better on white than it does on black is leading towards being some kind of black, with semi-black. You put a white opal this size on this white background, it's just going to kill the. Whereas this particular color looks better on a white background than it does on a black. So this to me is semi-black. I mean, it's dark. Australia, darker color with just semi-black. Crystalline material. Put a light through it, shine through. Crystalline black opal, pretty special. But this is a Ethiopian semi-black opal. Different from Australian blacks, but you know, they do on rare occasion produce the deep body color, which just produce pretty amazing. Look at all the amount of flash throughout the stone is quite extraordinary.
Now, is somebody asked, is smoked similar to black or?
Well, smoked will produce black colors, but it's artificial. I mean, you can take any white opal and turn it black by smoking it. Smoking is temporary. It does do pretty incredible things to white opals. I mean, it makes them look like a black opal, for sure. But just give them 6 months just sitting there, and the color will fade. I've smoked one opal, and it did pretty remarkable to it. But again, it's temporary, and the value is less than what a basic white opal would be. I mean, it's $10 a carat. So this gem,
and just to reiterate that this is not treated. This is natural
no
color.
treatment for this at all.
And Cameron picked up this opal.
All right.
Yeah. Cool.
Very cool. Thank you, Cameron.
Yeah.
Cool color.
It's pretty special for sure. Which we did. We've been doing really well with opal. Our supplier is just the best. Whenever we meet with him, we make sure we meet him soon as he lands, because this kind of opal, first person that looks on, not first. Did really good last time. This one, you're going to love it. Great stone. Up next, another moonstone. Kind of an unusual shape. Field cut. Weighs 6.67 carats. Praise value $28.60. Our price online $21.90. And with the 15 off, it's $18.62 or $279. Orange flash. That's what moonstone is known for, all those secondary colors. Unique. Okay, sorry. The azurescence is what you see in blue, typical moonstone. You get this orange in this material, and then the background of rainbow colors is what makes this unique. And the high transparency is what makes it fashionable. Yeah. Rainbow moonstone from Madagascar.
Ready for a couple questions?
Yep.
All right.
Hit me.
And again, everybody, if you ever have any questions or you want to see the stones again, just let us know in the YouTube chat, or if you're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, happy to answer them. Doug Studio wants to know, is Tanzanite still found in that one single area, and is it hard to find new material?
Yes, it's no, it's not just found in that single area, because we bought material that came from Kenya. We've heard reports of material coming from Kenya for many years, and finally we got material that is supposedly from Kenya, and it has a different look. So we don't question it, and our supplier is the best supplier of Tanzanite probably in the world. Maybe that's exaggeration. He's very, very knowledgeable, so I don't question it, I don't think he bought it at the source, but we all have a trust line that people we trust, and this material was unique enough that we don't question it because the color is different from other Tanzanite seen. We assume that it is correct. But 99.9% of everything that's out in the world is from Marilani in Tanzania. So it is really the only single source of readily available material. And they are still producing. Yeah, we keep waiting for the day. When we were in Tanzania, we thought the day had arrived because there was nothing there. But supply still continues. It's just sporadic. And we'll get more sporadic as they get deeper into the ground. Particularly the cost of mining these days, the cost of fuel is just going to have an effect on production. No question.
Thank you, Steve. One other question. There's a few questions coming in. I recall on previous More Gems live shows, we shared a publication that was a pricing guide for colored gemstones. Is this publication available online? If not, what source for pricing would you suggest?
I know there is a Facebook site that's pricing. I think you have to pay to be part of it. I don't know what that is. You recall what that is, Mike? If you look up gemstone pricing on Facebook, it'll probably come up. I haven't looked much into it because I use the gem guide. If you're not in the wholesale business, you may have difficulty getting the gem guide, but that is another pricing source. I know it's online and you pay a monthly fee to belong to it, but I don't offhand remember the name of it. And Gem Guide is produced somewhere around Chicago. Gem Guide? I have at the shows. All right, up next, another beautiful Tanzanite. This one I like a lot because I gave it a 993 out of 1,000. I don't know what the issue I had with it. I'm sure I gave my cutting only a 990 or something, which had an effect. And the surface wasn't totally cleaned. So there is a little stuff on the surface in the video, but it's clean stone. Polish is excellent. Cutting's pretty damn good. I don't know if sometimes, you have an issue with the cutting that has an effect. And I do see a little inclusion there, which I think it still will hit a VS1 because VS1's not flawless. And it's out far enough. So that one should have been cleaned a little better. So this one is 35% blue, 65% violet, which is what's shown in. I'm pretty sure this one had pretty good red flash. Michael's effects, always working. Red flash. News flash. But really good brilliance this stone. Happy with the cut. It is an all-step cut. Surprise, surprise. Just a nice shape. and the brilliance just worked out really well in the stone. Appraised price $16,420. Our price online $91.40. With the 15 off, it's $77.69 or $591 a carat. Good ring size, not too deep. A little over 80% depth. Really no dead spots, and the ends have brilliance. All right, 13.15 carat Tanzanite. 993 rating.
Question. Is the moonstone we just talked about from Elemena?
Sure.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not positive. All the Madagascar names, they're so long. I mean, they're just like, even the people's names are like just ridiculous. How could you write your name like that? They're like 12 letters in each name. Ravalomanana, which is a name. What was the question? Yeah. Did we write that down anywhere? Yeah. But it sounds right. And I'm trying to think if that's one of the sapphire sources too.
Yeah, we just have Madagascar, but
yeah.
Okay. Steve, in your opinion, where do you think the best color for gem quality amethyst comes from?
Well, the best ever was Rwanda. But I think this material in Bahia, in my time in business, is productive and producing just the finest color. It is the finest available right now, and it is amongst the finest ever available. When we cut one that's right, like the one we sold today, that color of what makes an amethyst great is a strong pleochrism, blue, violet pleochrism, sometimes red, violet. These are blue, violet, meaning that when you look at it, you see blue areas, violet areas, much like you do in tanzanite. They're remarkably like a tanzanite, just reversed. They're basically a violet stone with blue secondaries, or tanzanite. But this material from Bahia, how long it'll last, we don't know, but it is the best regular supply I've seen my time in business. It was great stuff that came out of, Siberia was the original, and the Siberia, I would bet that it was not better than what's coming out of Bahia, right? Even when I started, Russian material was kind of a past. What was 20 previous when I was go back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't even know how long Siberia, but it was known as the best. And
Uruguay
produced great stuff. It's marketed 15 years previous Bahia material. But the Bahia, I think, blows away Uruguay material. I'm all for this bahia. That's why we've been, every time our supplier, every time we see him, we spend hours looking through kilos. I mean, we got pictures of me looking at this bad.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a lot of material. Steve literally went through every single piece.
Every single piece.
It was.
Because it's the best.
Yeah, and he picked out the best, and that's what he's given. For those of you who are looking to get into faceting, that's the material that we're sending people that purchase a new machine under Steve's recommendation. He's sending out this great amethyst material right now.
Yeah, because it's available. And our supplier, we see him first. We come to his room. He comes from Brazil and comes to Tucson, and we for 2 days we're trying to get together. We said, "Oh, come back tomorrow morning," and finally he lets us in, and we just go through everything he's got, because he typically every year he has something great, and for the last 2 years he's just had, I don't know how many kilos I went through, 20 kilos.
Yeah, it was a lot, and while you were doing that, I found some great rhodonite crystals through some of the rough that he had, which was just, I was thrilled to see that, and it was just really cool red material.
So yes, I think Bahia is producing the best you can buy right now.
Well, we've got some on Instagram, but we'll come back for them.
Okay. So here's a sapphire of head for.
It's a hidden gem, Jeffrey.
All right, let me get on this. So the hidden gem again, everybody. These are going to be 25% off with coupon code RARE25. It's not listed on the website yet. It will be in 5 seconds. So if you're on that page on MoreGems.com,
3, 2,
it's there.
1.
Refresh that page.
There you go.
You can find it. One of a kind, rare 25% off.
All right, I probably cut this one 10 years ago. I haven't. It's been a while. I don't know how long ago. But because it was included, I haven't done anything with it. Knew it wouldn't photograph great. But the inclusion's that bad. And it's a natural pink sapphire, which has a lot of value. So I decided to put it out there, do it as a special, and you can see what the appraised price is, because naturals are double the value sapphire. And I got this material at the source in Oaxaca from Jean-Noel. I think he's the Ravalomanana. If you're watching, Jean-Noel, how you doing? But bought it at the source, cut it, and some of them I've heated with some success, but this one wasn't heated, particularly because of the problem during heat. So and the color was right anyway. So has a lot of value, and just decided to throw it out there, and it's just a pretty color. I'm not sure what setting you need for this, but anyway, trust the picture online. So appraised value $43.90. Our price online $17.90. And with the 25 off, it's $1,343 or $672 a carat. So throw it out there for a good price, and it's just an attractive stone. And Just a little bit included. All right. So this is your basic fine rhodolite garnet. Not an opalite, not mahenge. Just a pretty color in a garnet that's bright and not overly dark. Unique cut. Just pretty stuff. Appraise price $31.50. Our price online $15.90. And with the 15 off, $13.52 or $132 a. That's not. Yeah. You know, we do everything we can to get our color of the stones right online, so when you get them, you're not surprised. I don't know what that. Oh, maybe. None of them changed. I don't think you're changing it. Don't worry about it. Just online. The pictures are accurate. It hadn't changed for me.
Mike's just clicking at this point.
Yeah.
Clicking with nothing happening. I think it's happening.
But the red on the website on the left hand side, that's just a cool red.
And it's just a pretty color. You know, it's not what you see there, but very, very pretty, just like what's online. You know, so it's a nice stone and big stone, you know, for a rhodolite, not being overly dark, 10 carats plus is big gem.
Yeah, you say basic, but I find this color just beautiful. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because you've been used to it and you've seen it for so long that for me it's different than the umbellites, which I've kind of grown in the business seeing, and not so much rhodolite. I think that it's pretty.
Yeah, I've got so much rhodolite when Kangala was producing in Tanzania. Oh, many. So yeah, it is something that I like something different, and that's why I like the umbellites. And the umbellites will produce a brighter stone, although this is extremely brilliant stone. You know, so it is somewhat my desire to cut what's new and of higher value. You know, you get more money out of umbellites than you do out of rhodolite. But makes this a bargain for sure. You know, because this is an umbellite is $300, $400, $500 a carat. So.
Yeah, 'cause I think a gentleman earlier asked about a men's ring.
Yeah.
That stone. It is a bigger one.
Oh.
Yeah. Cool color. I mean, I bring this up every show, but where's my camera here? Yeah, it's similar to one's probably a little more orange. But this is probably my favorite ring that you guys ever made me. So that's cool. That's Spestertite garnet. Can I ask you some questions? Did we price this out already?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
$32 a carat, a bargain for sure.
Yes, for that color, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so Christopher, I know I've been ignoring you for a little bit on Instagram. I'm sorry about that. So he wanted to know, I think we talked about your favorite stone and color earlier. 2 questions. What's your favorite cut? I'm going with Mr. Berrien. And what is your holy grail stone that you'd love to own?
Ooh, I like the Holy Grail question. That's pretty good. We haven't heard that one.
Holy Grail stone. Well, I do still love that big morganite. I got the trillium.
Yeah.
You know, it's a stone I've always said I don't care if I ever sell.
Yeah, but what about one that you haven't obtained yet?
The unobtainium.
How about a 5-carat cobalt spinel?
Well, I'd like to cut a 5-carat round demantoid garnet. You know, like that material from Pakistan. Was it Pakistan? No, wasn't. It was Iran.
Yeah.
Won't be cutting that for a while.
Yeah. But the stuff from Madagascar is pretty nice too. A
Yes.
5-carat from Madagascar
Yeah,
would be.
yes.
That's a little bit lighter material, but still sweet nonetheless. They probably produce darker colors. I don't know if I've seen much though,
I haven't.
because we typically see larger stones are 1-2 carat, if even 2 carat.
Yeah. And Russia would be the other place to get fine stone.
Holy Grail, huh? The
Yeah.
large-sized demantoid.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Big round demantoid, top quality. Phew,
Yeah.
it'd be a killer. Or Malaya, like my wife's, big round. Got her a 10-carat round, just top Malaya garnet. Back when they were reasonable. Yeah. Still, you know, when I cut that, it was $800 a carat, and I got complaints and find it for $3,000 a carat now. Be lucky to. You're welcome, dear. Okay, up next, we will move along here. Again, unique. These spheres, you know, I've tried to cut spheres, very, very difficult. Hard to find a piece of rough that has the right shape to cut a sphere without wasting huge amounts. and they do waste huge amounts, and that's why the price of this material is probably triple what your typical Ethiopian opal is, at least double. Just because of the waste to cut rounds, dramatic. Unless you get the perfect piece of rough, the right shape, but typically if you want to cut the material, you just take a stone and suffer the weight loss. You know, typical weight loss in opal is probably 80%. This stone's probably 90%. Such low yield out of opal in general. Cut a stone like this whole. But beautiful colors. This is the crystalline material, meaning it's highly transparent with just dramatic color. This one weighs just under 10 carats. Could make a cool ring or pendant.
You get a bag full of those and shoot some marbles.
There you go.
Isn't that what you did back in the day?
Yeah. I never was very good at marbles. My skill for sure. So anyway, appraised price, we do not have an appraised price, but our price online $17.95. And with the 15 off, it's $15.26 or $153 a carat. So just about double what just a normal cab is. But just a unique look. Really, really cool. And these are really well cut, nice spheres. Pretty darn good spherical shape for sure. And great color. All right, up next is a headache that never ended. I say that because
This thing's a beast.
yeah, it's probably
a beast.
This is one of those 30-hour plus stones. You know, the color that's on there is not totally accurate. I could not get the color to go right. This color is not accurate either. It is super blue is what they call it. Dramatically better blue than this, different blue than what's online. I couldn't get the blue to show correctly and could not correct it to be what it is. It is I don't know how to describe the color, but it is a beautiful, beautiful color. When I first looked at the rough, I go, wow. I knew that was, if you look at super blue is what it's being called. Because it's not London blue, and it's different from sky blue or next color. Swiss blue. Yeah, it's more vivid than Swiss blue, but not the darkness of London blue. Really a dramatic color. Fortunately, I can't display accurately because it's indescribable. The iPhone. And my shirt. What colors?
Yeah, look at that matching your shirt.
So it's a big one. Closer, but still not accurate.
Oh, Rick and Morty, didn't he put a gem or
Oh, yes.
yeah, I forget what
Gem
that
in the head? Was
Yeah,
it?
I don't know.
I don't know if it was a blue topaz, but it was.
I forget.
Probably wasn't this size.
No, that's
maybe
cool.
it was.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
200 carats. This reminds me of a miniature version of the Morganite in a different color.
Yeah. I should put them together.
Yeah.
They look together good.
Yeah, good set.
I should have thought about that.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that Morganite, I did post a link in the YouTube chat. It's pretty amazing. But this color is amazing. Well, this color isn't quite accurate, you said. Well, I'm just looking at the stone right now, and that in real life, and that color is pretty freaking amazing.
It's different than that.
Yeah.
But every bit is beautiful.
Yep.
It's just a unique color. That would make quite a pendant, those two stones together. 500 carats of gems cut in trillion cuts. Be cool. So 202 carats. 71.50 is our price online. And with 15 off, it is $6,078 or $30 a carat. We literally do have 30 hours into this. I have two other pieces of blue topaz that I thought I would get to, but after this stone, I have no desire because this is it's a hard material, and it's not the easiest thing to polish. It just takes a lot of time. Anytime you're dealing with this big of facets, we complain as cutters about having to do a table facet because it takes so much longer than smaller facets. Every facet on this is as big as a table on a 10 carat stone, so it was just a major project to polish this. Here's a smaller piece of rough, but still probably cut a 80, 90 carat stone, but it's 10, 12 hours in a smaller stone. Okay. Next, or a question? Okay. So, here's a piece, whoops. Here's a piece of amethyst from MoreGems. Mineral mic, sorry. And the colors are so much more. Really, really remarkable. Big to show on here, but so amethyst from Alberta, Canada. This one 13.60 carats. Oh, this one was put in later. Okay, $340, and with the 15 off, it's $289 or $21 a carat. This really remarkable color material. Pattern and blue highlights. It's pretty stuff. I do love Scapolite.
Question for you, Steve. The blue topaz that we just showed, Dave wants to know, is this the big sister to the natural unheated blue topaz that we sold several months ago? The natural unheated blue was rough, that was cut into 2 pieces.
Yeah, what was that? Was 200? It was a 200.
Was it?
Yeah. Like this, here's another, natural. Light blue. I think I still have 2. Yeah, it was part of this. Yeah. Because there was 6 or 8 pieces. These are from Nigeria. So that one I'd planned on cutting right away too, but put that off for a while. But this is natural, and we'll cut a nice light blue color in a square cushion, because I have another piece. Anyway, won't be touching those blue topaz for a while. Good stuff for a pendant. So this will not go on a ring. Makes a nice pendant.
We got a viewer from Madagascar. He's wanting to know, I need a DOP for an Ultrate V2. I don't know if you mean Ultrate. Is that
Ultratech V2?
Ultratech, probably V2, especially for a 1.5 2 millimeter. You know any idea where you can find something like that?
I would go on YouTube, because I don't. That's an older machine and don't know what. Well, you could contact Ultratech. Just contact Ultratech faceting, and sure they have older DOPs or have the source for it. So just email them, see what you can find out, and sure they would ship to Madagascar if they own the parts.
And Dave also said that the previous topaz was 90 carats.
90. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I always think it was bigger. But
Okay.
I had hoped it would be 200 when I was getting it. It's not unusual. So a quick look at this one. I think this one sold. Cambodian. Eileen bought that one. Who? Wasn't Eileen that bought? No, she bought Michael's. That's right. And if KH happens to be out there, thank you very much for the special loop. I'll got to do a little work, get it back together, but looks like it could be interesting as far as a better way to see gems, but won't know until I really try it out. But thanks so much. I'll let you know how it works out. All right, and up next is our next Blue Light special. More Gems shoppers.
Yes.
Take a look at our next Blue Light special, which is a match pair of Peridot from Pakistan. These are the mint green color. And I looked at these out in daylight, and the mint green is just remarkable. I mean, it is like what you would hope a fine Marilani mint garnet looks like. Just gets such a nice blue-green color in daylight. So these weigh 4.17 carats. Our price online is $990. And with the 30% off, it's $693 or $166 a carat. Just a really beautiful match pair. Great earrings. I like that. Just really bright, well cut. Blue light. Yeah, these are really great stones. Beautiful gem. Peridot from Pakistan.
And these are going to go live here. My computer decided to freeze up on me. So
they're not live yet?
They're not live yet. Okay, that'll be live in about 10 seconds. So you can refresh the page, and that'll show up in the list, and you can purchase. I got it done.
And up next is another Peridot, one of the bigger ones we bought. Again, the cutting for being done in Pakistan is quite amazing. It's some emerald cut shape in a brilliant style. Just the cutter is just really good. Get a lot of Pakistan people following us, and this Pakistan cutter is, I wonder if I can get him here to the U.S. He does just a great job. This is one thing we'll look for when we go to Bangkok, is cutters that do cutting like this. Getting to be more and more throughout Asia that are doing higher quality cutting with the higher quality equipment, and that's what we want to find, because I can't cut it all. This one weighs 4.95 carats, appraised price $26.20. Our price online $1,295, and with the 15% off, it is $1,101 or $222 a carat. This is the two colors that are typically available out of Pakistan. Be this, which is definitely not quite as yellow as what this is showing. I don't think you're changing it at all, Michael. On your screen, maybe. Oh, I see more green now. Which that's probably more accurate. Peridot from Pakistan. And all right, another fine opal from Ethiopia. You know, here's a case where this is going to look much better on black. Definitely not a black opal. Probably not. This reflects too. black too. Yeah, I lost my basic black background. It doesn't ring. But anyway, beautiful colors without the support of the black back. See what the black does. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the patterns in these Ethiopian opals so variable, and just see a lot of uniqueness. Now look at that, you're. It's mine. So, our price online, $799.
It really does look like a fingerprint pattern in there. That's crazy.
Sale price $679 or $83 a carat. And a spectacular opal from Ethiopia. See the camera. See how it looks on black.
Yeah, I've never seen that type of pattern before. There's a lot that are kind of similar, but this is different. The way that it's in there.
All right, up next, the match pair of blue zircon rounds. Again, well cut, not overly deep, extremely brilliant. They're not quite as intense a color, but for blue zircons, they're about as intense as they usually get. Nice match pair of rounds. Nice size earrings. They're 8 millimeters. So diamond size, like 2-carat diamond size. Really pretty color. $41.20 is the appraised value. $18.90 is our price online. And with 15 off, $1,607 or $185 a carat. Really beautifully cut. Really well matched pair of blue zircons. Comes from Cambodia. They have been heat treated as typical of all material from Cambodia. It comes out of the ground brown, much like what happens at Tanzanite. You lose that brownish looking color and get the nice blue. Next gem up is another moonstone. Are we on the toned down version of which one did I change the A? Accurate. We cut the intensity down. Like reality. It has really good color. This moonstone 7.91 carats. Again, from Madagascar. Appraise price of $55.40. Our price online $35.95. 15 off, it's $3,056 or $386 a carat. This is on the high end of what size this material typically came out. Condensate.
And if you're not into the faceted moonstones, we did just set up a beautiful pendant of cabochon rainbow moonstone that's accented by diamonds and sapphires that we just posted maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, which is available on MoreGems.com as a full set piece. It's worth checking out if you're into moonstone.
Next hidden gem.
The
Hidden gem,
final
all right.
hidden gem.
Let's make sure my
Hidden gem.
computer doesn't freeze up this time.
25% off with code RARE25.
All right.
And
then
it's another 12 or 10 by 8 tanzanite.
all right, it'll be live here in just 10 seconds. Just refresh your page on moregems.com, and this will show up quite a few rows down, but it'll be there for you.
So this one's a little more violet. The first one was more to the blue. So this is 60% violet, 40% blue. Praise prices. Our price online $15.90 with the 25% off. It's $11.93 or $426 a carat. Nice ring size. Good pendant. And up next, one more tanzanite. I cut into a trillionth, 7.67 carats.
Yeah, the step cut trillion. Man, just
Hard to beat.
yeah, it is. Portuguese, I don't know, in my opinion, comes in a second behind this.
Was a great aim. This one is 30% blue, 70%. Again, red flag. Michael. Of that. So appraised price of $89.50. Our price online $49.85. And with the 15 off is $42.37, $552 a carat. It's really bright. Hard to beat that brilliance. Red flash. Another match pair of Peridots in the deeper green color. Pakistan, both color ranges, produces some of the finest on earth. Oh. Or mint. Nice peridot crystal from mineralmike.com. And he's got many, many fine peridot crystals. You still have that really big one? Or?
Yeah, I've got a couple really big ones now. Amazing crystals. They're insane. The 200 carats, I think.
Didn't one of them have even a cleaner look than?
Yes, yeah, I've got a couple of them now. Now that I've picked up from our Peridot supplier. Even this one's there may be a gem in that tip there. I contemplated on cutting that up, but I really like the etched faces of this crystal and just the look of it. I can't do it.
Which this is so typical of all this material from Pakistan. Don't have the bright, clean surface typically. Acid. But part of the match pair. Shape, make a nice earring. Oop.
I need an overlay for every time you drop one. It usually happens once a show.
I just do it for effect. Nice earrings. Or pendant ring, they're big enough for that. As long as I find the other one. Peridot from Pakistan, appraised price $36.60, $22.90 is our price online. With the 15 off, $19.47 or $249 a carat. And this is a Kunzite that sold earlier. Really, really great color, particularly in a smaller jet. Has this pink color. Tourmaline's different. Pink sapphire, close. So this weighs 6.53 carats, 390, and for $332, $51 a carat. Any questions there, Jeff?
Turn myself on here. Yeah, we're coming to the end of the show. So if you do have any questions, please post them Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or in that YouTube chat channel. You want to see one of the stones we had tonight? Again, just post it in there. We can show it to you. But we'd love to answer some questions. So post them in there, anything you have, and we can ask Steve.
All right, here's our last stone of the evening. 6.57 carat pear-shaped blue zircon with just insanely deep color. You know, what you're seeing on screen right now, add a little green to it like what's on line. That's the color you're going to see. That's closer, but this is so much more intense. As we tell everybody, we cannot produce the fine color that blue zircon has with our camera, just not, because the colors are so amazing. This one's 6.57 carats. Appraise price $42.50. Our price online is $18.90. The 15 off, it's $16.07 or $245 a carat. Just extreme brilliance, remarkable color. Some of the deepest colors we've owned. Not that I haven't had colors like this previously, just because our supplier just produces such great colors. But this is amongst the best for sure, and the brightest. Just hard to beat blue zircon for brilliance. You have to buy a diamond to do that. Comes from Cambodia. Great ring size. And you'll find more blue zircons as part of this group that we assume we wouldn't have time to show. But a lot of great shapes, pear shape, really deep antique cushion. Show them in the other. Yeah, it was. It was hard to pick which ones to show.
Why didn't we show that cool diaspora? That looked pretty cool.
Yeah, what happened to that?
So that one, it was on a show previously.
Oh, it was?
But there was a chip on it. Steve tried to repair it, didn't work out, and we just had it recut. So yeah, that one's available again. It's a great diaspora.
Yeah, that's a cool looking stone.
Yeah, so look online.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, if you're looking at the page, it's down towards the bottom. It's kind of that brown green.
It was shown as part of the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That looks like a cool color.
Yeah, that's a good stone.
Yeah.
Really, really good color change on it. Big size. It was a stone that I bought. It had some rough areas on the table. I tried to recut it, couldn't, and got it to a friend that is an expert at cutting it, and he did a great job refinishing something I couldn't do. It is a material that's difficult. Rudy recut it, one of the Wobito brothers, and that has been their specialty for years, cutting difficult stones to cut like. Thanks so much, Rudy. Sorry it didn't make the show. I intended it to be on here, but maybe next show we still have it. If you like color changing diaspora, used to be known as, in the past, as zoltanite.
Ah, okay.
That's a trademark name. Czarite's another name for it. But legitimate name I can use, diaspora.
All right.
All right, I think that pretty much does it for tonight.
No. Well, yes, for the stones.
Questions? Yes.
But we always do this at the end of the show about what stone we think should have sold. I've been thinking about it, and there's only, some of these stones, that sapphire is amazing. There's a few tanzanites that are amazing. But the one I was like, I think I'm a guy that chases it, like either that red or that burnt orange. and that's, even though Steve called it basic, that octagon cut rhodolite garnet from Tanzania. I think that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, it's just
Nice stone.
yeah. I just love that the deep pigeon blood red, as you guys were discussing earlier.
Yeah, it is a nice stone.
Yeah, it's cool stone, especially for the price. I mean, you get 10 carat stone for that price. I just think it's cool
I have
looking.
to review that after a couple of weeks if it doesn't sell, and because it probably, for a stone that big,
10 carat.
it's
Holy
really
cow!
inexpensive. It should be probably more than 200 a carat.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to cut in real quick. Rick just purchased that brilliant cut peach morganite 3.69 carat.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah.
thanks,
you'd be
Rick.
happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry we didn't have it to show, but it's good stone. You know, just took me a while to get around to recutting it because I probably owned that for at least 2 or 3 years. But if you saw the box of recuts I have collected over the years. When we go to Bangkok, we'll find somebody to recut them for us.
All right. What's your picks?
Oh man, I have to do a couple. One because I cut it.
Good choice.
That would be this Peridot. Well, it's a green quartz.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's got a really nice cut to it. It's relatively inexpensive, and I think it'd make a great ring or a pendant. But super cool color. It's like a muted green. I don't know. I think it's really neat, and I thought it came out great. So I like that one a lot.
And something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And I say that a lot of times. Find something totally unique. Show me another.
Yeah. I'd say that one from the ones that I've cut that's left. But I also like this tourmaline. I think that's a spectacular stone. The color is just amazing. The cut's great. And getting that blue-green is just difficult. And it's not that super dark color either. It's a lighter, bright, pleasing blue-green. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
But I think that one is a great stone.
Yeah, I was pretty thrilled with it. And, it's unfortunate that the cameras do really hurt them a lot as far as showing the inclusion so much. Because that's all you see, and you barely see those. The issue with this photography with these close-up cameras.
Yeah, that
to
one's
see
good.
it in person, you just don't see. I mean, can you see it? Yes, you can see some of that inclusion, but it's just minor compared to how it looks on. Yeah, I agree. And I probably have 2 favorites. This Tanzanite just because of the red flash. It's just it's remarkable. You look get that off there. You look at it, and it's really the only thing you see is the red flash because there's so much of it. It's got a nice background of this blue purple, but red flash is just the highlight of the stone.
Make me push the button again.
Yeah, don't push it. Don't push it. Don't push it. I'm going to ban that red flash button. And the other stone that I really like. I would have maybe picked it first.
That one's
because I didn't cut it, so I have to pick the Tanzanite. This is pretty remarkable.
didn't that sell?
Oh, did it?
I think it did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that one's no
Yeah,
longer
yeah,
here.
yeah. Oh, okay. Well, it's the Tanzanite.
All right.
How about the sapphire?
Well, the sapphire.
That's
We all
without
know
question.
the
Yeah,
sapphire is
yeah, that's
Without question.
amazing. It's another one of those stones. If I have it to my deathbed, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Don't bury me with it. It's really pleasing stone. And thanks, Nancy, for letting me buy it.
Yes. He's still up.
It was pretty easy on that one, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
good.
both
You got
me
the
and
name- you
Michael
got the
just
mom
loved
approval.
it, and he said yes.
Yeah, I think it was a good idea.
Yeah, I do too. Somebody will love owning that stone, much as I do.
Very cool.
All right.
Did this tourmaline sell? That one's pretty sweet too. I just went back.
Yeah,
That one's I don't know if we touched on that long enough in the beginning. That was just
yeah, first stone.
yeah.
Maybe shouldn't have put it first.
There is somebody that's interested in it.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, no, it's a cool gem.
yeah.
You know, because always chrome tourmaline has been the stone that I've avoided the most because it's often the most disappointing stone when you cut it. Because no matter how good you think the color is, most often it just cuts black, overly dark. You know, I have apparently learned to buy the rough better, but it's something that all cutters have experienced. You know, if you buy a chrome tourmaline, just assume that you better buy it lighter than you think it should be, because otherwise it's going to cut black on you. Most cutters I know have had that experience. A lot of us avoid it, you know, not that there's much to avoid because there's so little material. You know, the availability of chrome tourmaline is very, very, very limited market. Unlike sapphire, which is much more common and much more expensive. 5 carat 60 fine sapphire is looking at 3,000-4,000. Yeah, good point, Mike.
Cool.
All right. Wow, this was one of our longest shows, almost 4 hours.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, we had a lot of stones.
Yeah.
You know,
I had a
and,
lot of questions.
yeah.
I really appreciate everybody that stayed with us throughout
Yes.
the whole night.
Yeah. Give us thumbs
Yeah.
up if you
Yeah,
enjoyed
if
it.
you can. Yeah, there's like 45 people still on. Hey, if you can just click that thumb, because we're at like 72, maybe better. I got to hit 100. Mike, is really happy when we hit 100. We're at 72. So give me some of those thumbs up down
All
there.
right.
And definitely subscribe. Not only do we put out these, live videos, but Mike and Steve do a lot of educational videos. You want to see how like the stones are cut and everything, which is really interesting. Plus a lot of the stones that we release, because we do release other stones and pieces of jewelry throughout the month. And you'll be notified when those go live, and you can see the video and everything. So definitely subscribe if you can, and we really appreciate you staying with us.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks everybody for watching, and keep on gemming.
Let's go, like the stage is set. Rare gemstones you won't forget. Colors so bold, they steal the scene. A world of brilliance, crisp and clean. On the MoreGems show, where treasures shine. A moment of beauty, a spark divine. Cut to perfection. Glowing with pride, step into the wonder, come inside. Oh, come inside. Oh. The finest gems, each one a star, from places distant and lands afar. Shapes that shimmer, hues that play. This is your chance, it's Gem Drop Day. So see the light in every stone, crafted by hands, each one alone. A fleeting glimpse, don't let it fade. Gems like these are never remade. On the MoreGems show, where treasures shine. A moment of beauty, a spark divine. Cut to perfection, glowing with pride. Step into the wonder, come inside. Oh, come inside. Oh, it's the a dazzling view where every gemstone waits for you. Welcome to the MoreGems Show. Let's go! You're the MoreGems Show, where treasures shine, where treasures shine. A moment of beauty, spark divine, spark divine. Cut to perfection, glowing with pride. Step into the wonder, come inside. Learn inside, yo. It's the MoreGems Show, a dazzling view where every gemstone waits for you.